welcome back to Umineko. I'm Malleable Persona, and I'm joined as always by Kat.
Hi,
Yeah, so we're back. We're back.
finally. Finally.
Yeah, disability is a hell of a thing. I hope you've been
Yep, good.
enjoying the Weeb Wednesday that's already been out.
My body's a fuck.
Yeah. Though it's not just yours, because we did miss at least one day because of me.
Yeah. Lay down. No. Yes, buddy, I know. You're very handsome. But lay down. I'm in the middle of the stream now. You should have, yelled at me for attention before I started. Sorry, cats.
Yep.
I was gonna say something. No, I don't fucking remember what it is.
Alright, well, I'll go over what I've been doing since the Weeb Wednesday stream, and then we can get back to you, and hopefully it'll have returned to your brain.
Hopefully, yeah.
Alright, so I got some new glasses.
Yeah?
Because it's been about a decade, if not longer.
Yeah, that's kind of something you need to do.
Yeah.
Fucking, I need to go get some glasses. Shit.
Yeah, and it was actually a quick turnaround, too, because I went in on the 18th, and they got me my glasses on the 21st.
Huh. Yeah, that is really fast.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, okay. Because it was a new prescription, because my eyes are a little bit weaker than they were before. Which they do have mechanisms to actually check the lens that you had. Even if you don't have the prescription handy anymore. Because I certainly fucking didn't after a decade.
Yeah. After, I don't know that I would still keep that after, 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. No, they actually...
No.
They actually go bad. They're no longer valid after a year.
Makes sense. It's I honestly don't keep paperwork unless it's something like birth certificates or medical diagnoses or something like that for longer than 2 years.
Yeah, basically what I hold on to is the essentials, and then also anything that says the government owes me money.
Yeah, that's a good thing to hold on to.
And then, other than that, my disability lawyer suggested it's best if I write down all my doctor's appointments.
That's probably a good idea. Yeah, I need to do that too, just to be prepared.
Yes, because basically what you're doing there is burying them in paperwork.
Oh, yeah, that's actually something that did happen. I got state medical care from New Mexico.
Yes, I remember you saying, and I'm very happy for you.
I don't think I said it on stream yet, but yeah, I got it. I didn't want to say anything until I had the card in my hand, but I've got it in my hands right now, so it's real.
Yes, it's real. We can maybe start doing shit about your legs.
Maybe my shoulders too, because so I knew I was having trouble opening sliding doors, right? Because with the shoulder motion, but today we're having to fucking wring out all the clothes from the busted washer. Really hammered it home that my shoulders are also going. It's not just my knees and hips anymore, which is not good.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I kind of use those for my passion. Please do not take those from me too. Fuck.
Yeah. Yep, so it'll be figuring out what's going on there and figuring out what you need. Which, that could be a variety of things that you end up needing.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to medically diagnose you as a simple slime.
Fucking all I know is that the connective tissues and the cartilage and all that shit is not in good shape. That's all I know.
Yeah.
I'm not having any muscle issues. I'm not rapidly atrophying or anything like that. All I know is that it's either or maybe both the cartilage and tendons and nerves. Something with my nerves. Because sometimes I do wake up and the outside of my legs are numb. So it's not a good sign.
Yeah, and it's actually it would be a very good thing to write down everything that's going on fucked up with your legs and shoulders.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what the that's what the disability log is for.
Okay, that's right. They do have a disability log for you.
No. I made one in the Discord. Remember?
Oh, yeah. That's right. That Discord disability log. Now I remember.
Yeah, it's because I can't restrict anyone else from seeing it without taking away like people's crew roles. So I was just like, hey, ignore this. People
Yeah.
have done a really good job ignoring it. So
Yeah, really.
good.
Like, I noted it existed once, and that's about it.
Yeah, like Trig, I think, reacted to the first message with a hugging emote, which made me weirdly emotional for like 5 minutes. And I was like, okay, we're good. Maybe I'll like fucking get something for my wrist too. Like they can't do anything for my wrist, right? Like I just got a missing bone in my wrist. It's just been pulverized. It's gone.
Eh,
But like maybe I'll get like some sort of like fucking like hand warmer or some advice on stretches or something to do to keep it as functional as possible, right?
yeah. And I mean, who knows? Maybe if this is a known issue people have, they might just put a metal thingy in your wrist.
I don't know that like people not wearing their safety gear during sparring matches and then getting hit with a very specific disarm at a very specific angle is a known issue.
I mean, I know way too many sports people who do not wear their protection.
You know what? You're not wrong. So some of us are really reckless about it. I just straight up didn't have any like real protective gear at the time, so I just didn't wear any.
Yeah. So, it might be more common than you think.
Yeah, just like the sparring match was more about like clashing and not like scoring points or anything like that. Like we weren't actually trying to hit each other or anything, which light taps, but it just happened to be at the right angle at
Yeah, just happen in the worst possible fucking place.
yeah, it was like confluence of the like most unlikely things possible. So normally that disarm is supposed to happen further up along the hand near the knuckles, which would have been completely fine because those are much larger bones, they're much harder to break.
Yep.
That's what the knuckles are for, or those knuckles at least, the big ones.
Yep. So, other things, people are on their migration from Twitter.
Thank the gods.
Yeah, really. Because,
Get the fuck out of there.
yeah. And it's a pretty big sign when even the overseas artists leave because, most of them probably don't know what the fuck is going on with Musk specifically as an individual, but they know the site's going to shit.
Especially with like the Western habit of like screenshotting things instead of like actually like quote tweeting them or anything. So it takes much more effort for them to get to the thing and then auto translate it,
Yeah.
which I personally find very annoying. By the way, I know it's supposed to be like, oh, don't boost them, don't give them any engagement, blah blah blah. I don't give a shit. It makes it harder for me to like find the person to block them. All right.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, find the
It
person.
takes more effort for me to like block these people when you do this.
Yeah. Other than that, I think that's about it.
I have like 10 anime on my watch list right now.
Yeah.
Like this is ridiculous.
Yeah,
So we'll talk more about that on Wednesday.
Yeah,
But
I haven't.
just know that I've got a lot.
Yeah, what was it? Mother's Basement?
Yeah, Mother's Basement. Jeff Thu.
Yeah, so, watch that for some recommendations we'll be talking about later.
Yeah, that man has been saving my fucking life when it comes to anime for like the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, like, it's worth saying, like, hats off to the people who do watch through, like, basically every anime that's on for a season and going, yeah, here's what you need to know. I don't like this thing. If you also don't like this thing, just leave.
Yeah, it's getting worse every year. Not worse, but like it's getting more intense of a task each year because like each year there's more and more anime out each season, right?
Yeah, because
that's
there's
what happens.
Yeah, because there's an overseas thirst for it. So,
And especially once you start getting like Western people doing it in the same style as anime as well, like with Castlevania, for example.
oh yeah, Castlevania, uh, Suicide Squad Isekai. I don't know how it did, like, on ratings and stuff, but I very much enjoyed that.
This is something I gotta fucking do. My list of anime is so big that I still haven't finished my backlog from the previous season.
Yeah, because that was very good. As a sort of exchange of interests, my housemate Stemo is watching Ranma with me, and I am watching Kanikuman with him. Which
I know that name from somewhere, and I cannot place it.
on 4Kids it was called Ultimate Muscle.
I guess it's fucking. I got nothing.
It is about wrestlers.
Okay, that's starting to ring some vague, very distant bells.
Yeah,
Like Dark Souls 1 style when you're going through the undead bird and someone else is ringing the bell.
yeah, and that's a good way.
You
to put
hear it, but you don't know what's going
on. It is a very odd show, but very interesting, and is not afraid to get bloody.
Oh yeah, this fucking thing. Okay, I just googled it.
Yeah,
this weird shit.
Yeah, like, as bloody as it gets, it is still it still has some comedy elements. And to be fair, Kanikuman himself is an alien.
I honestly didn't expect that. I know he looks funny, but it's anime, so
yeah. So
could just be like a dude.
Yeah. So yeah, for him himself, he's at least an alien. So there is that. But also, they are semi-immortal wrestlers. With 3 factions. I forget what the main heroic Chojin are called, but our heroic Chojin, our devil Chojin, and the perfect Chojin.
Fucking fair enough. Aside from that, I've been doing 2 things primarily.
Mm-hmm.
One is I've taken the basic premise, the starting premise, the idea of Elden Ring, and just absolutely just taken off into the sunset with it. Which that is the idea of a semi-divine warrior being exiled from the land of the gods and then being called back much later.
Right.
To solve a civil war of some kind. That's been very fun. I am struggling to come up with any real names for like anything because, believe it or not, Michael Zaki and George R.R. Martin are very good at what they do.
Yeah,
and it's like the sheer alliteration that they manage to stuff into this stuff to make these things easy to remember and fun to say, like destined death, the grace of gold, the guidance of grace, so on and so forth. Like this, it's all so good that I can't help but like when I think of these concepts, it's just named that in my head now, which is upsetting because I can't just use what they did because that's copyright infringement.
Yeah, like
I'm not trying to make fucking fan fiction. I'm trying to make something that has the same basic idea and not much else.
I think
that's what I'm trying to do.
I think in a Souls-like, it is telling when players will actually switch from calling them souls and bonfires to something else.
Yeah, although like I always try to switch because that's just to be respectful to the people that are actually making this current game, whether it's Michael Zaki or not. I think they named it something different for a reason. I'm going to go with that name.
Yeah. Though I usually just fucking forget mid-game, so if I'm talking to somebody about it, I go, the Souls, basically.
Yeah. Like, For example, the reason why they named them runes in Elden Ring, which if you've played the game, you probably know this somewhere in the back of your mind. Maybe you just haven't thought about it overall, but they're called runes because you are using the fabric of reality to strengthen yourself, like the source code of reality, the written rules. It's like if you took the stone tablets that fucking, what was it, Moses? I think it was Moses. Fucking
Uh,
whatever. The Ten Commandments. If you took that and like bashed them up and used each letter instead, like to rearrange and say stuff, right? So you're writing into the fabric of reality. My strength can be put as 32 or whatever. That's what it is.
I also heard a notification sound, but I don't see where it's coming from. Also, I realized I did not change the actual category, so let me do that.
Oh yeah, that'd probably be a good idea.
Let me
And
fix it.
like fucking Salt and Sacrifice and Salt and Sanctuary calls it salt because it's based on alchemical ideas, right? Like salt is the structure of things. It's the body. It's hi Quinn. How you
Yes,
doing,
I
buddy?
win.
Well, yeah. No, don't yell at me. But with Salt and Sacrifice and Salt and Sanctuary, it's called salt because it's based on alchemy. And in alchemy, salt is the structure, the body, the thing that sets the rules. And it's done that way for the same reason as it's runes in Elden Ring, because you're using the salt to strengthen and give yourself more structure. So, like, I try to use whatever name that people come up with for it. You know, it's haze or it's fucking blood echoes or it's salt or it's runes or it's souls or whatever. I can't actually remember what it's fucking called in Words of Fallen now.
Yeah, I really can't. And that's the thing, is I think my point was you remember it more because it's thematic.
Mm-hmm. It, like again, like I also personally just make an effort for that because I know that I would want people to make an effort for it if I made a Souls like, and one day I will, assuming I don't fucking like get hit by a meteor or something.
Oh, there we go. Hair raisers, thank you for the follow.
Uh, AI limit. I've heard of it, and I was actually talking about it on one of the streams last week because
Yeah.
for whatever reason we got onto the subject of Steam Next, and I am interested in it insofar as I want to see someone else play it, but because it's a set protagonist, I don't personally want to play it.
Yeah. Cat's not very keen on set protagonist stories,
Yeah, like
which,
I spent so long doing set protagonists, like I'm just done. You gotta have like a really fucking cool set protagonist for me to want to play it. Like I'll play Witcher 3 because Geralt's a fucking
yeah.
he's a great character.
But
He's magnificent.
my housemate played AI Limit, and I liked the look of it and the mechanics, so I will probably get it when it comes out.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I'm probably gonna fucking watch it, and if I watch it and feel like playing it, then I'll play it, but probably not.
Yeah.
Um,
Because you enjoyed watching Lies of P, but you weren't interested in playing.
yeah, like I don't want to play Twin Pinocchio.
And me,
Like
I
it's
actually.
cool, but I don't want to play it.
But meanwhile, I very much enjoyed playing as Twink Pinocchio.
Yeah, just fucking. As I always say, I don't want less or fewer set protagonists. I want more custom characters.
Which, fair.
So, like, everyone has the thing that they want, right? Like, I want more of the thing that I like, not less of the thing that I don't like. So, because like when you're talking about these sorts of things, people for some reason imagine that it's like there can only be say 100 games coming out in a given year, and to have more of the thing that you want, then everyone else has to get less of what they want, and that's bullshit. That's not how it works.
Yeah. Though I will say, I do want less live service games.
Oh well, yeah, but that's because that's an awful practice.
Yeah.
This is like a bad business decision, really, for long term anyway.
Yeah. Problem is, capitalists aren't great at the long term.
No, they really aren't. The other thing I've been doing was
There you go,
through-
Quinn.
I'm not even saying like a silent protagonist either, like because the Inquisitor Inquisitor and Hawk in the two most recent Dragon Age games aren't silent, but they're custom. You get to make them. They have their own little quirks and everything, but that's fine.
Yeah, for sure. Like, that works. It's also why I like
Shut up, idiot.
Fields
No.
of Mystria. It's very good at giving
Oh,
you a
what?
lot of openness and making your own character. And
I don't think you guys can hear him, but he is yelling up a storm. He's not showing up on my audio monitor, but
yeah.
he's mad. He's upsetting.
But I do appreciate it if it's a set protagonist with a personality to them. Even if that personality is somewhat muted at first. Like P and Liza P. Like, at first, you don't really get a lot of characterization out of him because he's kind of a newly born entity.
Yeah, it makes complete sense why he's basically a fucking robot when he starts, because he is. He literally is.
Yeah,
And
and
he's slowly gaining his own soul and sapience and so on.
yeah, and making those choices. And I hear that the metaphor protag is pretty good as a set protag, and actually has some flavor to the things you can make him say.
I just like making characters.
Which, I mean, I get it. You're a fucking character designer. How can you not
Yeah,
enjoy the lore?
that's the thing that I like. Man, yourself, dick. Stop it.
Definitely
I
can
know,
hear
buddy.
him now.
Stop it. Lay down. Anyhow, the other thing that I've been doing was rounding out my character in Remnant 2. Finishing up the DLC, so on and so forth. There's still like a couple things I'm missing, but for the most part, like I'm like 98% done with being a completionist asshole. So I decided to make a build based on the Alchemist class, which I have been thinking about doing since the game came out, because it allows you to just chug a fuck ton of concoctions, which are these like hour-long buffs that you can usually only have one of. But I managed to get 8 on this fucking Alchemist through the use of accessories and various other bullshit.
Yeah, I did see
And
that.
the damage reduction I had was 92.8%. It was literally just being tickled by fucking like the hardest bosses in the game. And problem is, I was also tickling them because I didn't have anything for damage. It was just all in armor. It was like
Yeah.
literally like 15-minute long fights. Which was very funny, but also very tiring.
Yeah. So, last we left off, Butler kind of became the de facto new head, as agreed by the majority.
Sucks to be him.
Yeah, sucks to be him. Let's just hope that he actually shows some backbone here at this conversation. I have a feeling he's not going to, and he's going to regret it as people end up dead.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, I have no faith in this man.
Yeah, not for this, because he's shown no interest. And if he's not interested, he often forgets why it's important.
This is what they call a one-track mind.
Yeah, a little bit. Battler did nothing but gaze lazily out the window. Not a good start.
No, not even a little bit.
The fighting between the relatives continued without end. At first, the relatives had crowded around the study. However, no matter how much they knocked, the master of the study did not answer even once. Ava and several others said they should open the door with the second key, the one Genji held. However, in a flash of brilliance, Natsu said that Kenzo had been in particularly bad mood and taken back the key he'd previously given Genji. Of course, the truth is, she just tossed the key into the room,
Yeah, of course.
meaning that he now had both keys himself. Which, I mean, that's going to keep her barrier until they start bringing out the axes. Because that is a sturdy door. Claimed that it was therefore impossible for them to open the door. After she promised to let them meet Kinzo tomorrow morning no matter what, they finally returned to the dining hall.
Oof.
But of course, the argument continued on even after they returned there. Ava's group wanted a lot of cash very soon, and they were trying to threaten Kraus somehow and make him pay up. Apparently, Battler's solving of the epitaph, which threatened Kraus's position as the next head, had given the others a huge tailwind. On the other side, Kraus and Nazi denied the very basic basis of their argument, claiming that it had never been specified that ownership of the gold would be handed over to the person who solved the epitaph. No, they found the gold. The reward is the gold. Now, if you want to keep the businesses, sure. That's at least an argument. Especially because there was no letter from the witch this time.
Yeah.
They asserted that it hadn't been hidden gold, but just Kinzo's stockpile, and it was still Kinzo's property, which meant it was only natural for it to be distributed after Kinzo's death with the rest of the inheritance. No, you should have shut up and actually distributed the gold.
Yeah, because now, now you're gonna get nothing.
Because really, the gold being found should have gotten you excited. And you just went, we're keeping the house and we're keeping the businesses and we're keeping our cut of the gold. And most people would have shut their mouths. I don't even think Ava would have pursued more. Unless it had been George who had found the gold, then she would have been continued to push.
Yeah, but it wasn't, so, you know.
Yeah. And I don't think that that Rudolph would have pushed the same way. If they had just said, yeah, you can have your cut of the gold now. You found it now, you can have it now, sure.
Was it 10 tons of gold?
Yeah, it's 10 tons of gold.
Okay.
After
Honestly,
hearing,
I'd have just been like, give me like half a ton and I'm good. Like,
Yeah.
I'll just go away forever. You'll never see me again.
so I did read that. After hearing this, Ava's group once again started demanding that they be allowed to see Kinzo. It had probably been clear as day from the beginning. The sibling fight could only be settled by Kinzo. It was obvious that this confrontation was between Ava's group, which wanted cash fast, and Kraus, who was hiding his lack of funds, but still didn't need money right away. Spatler listened vaguely to this exchange. He marveled at how, despite their usual affluent airs, they were all surprisingly deep in debt. Yeah, that's not particularly baffling to us anymore.
Yeah, but it would have been back in the 80s.
Yeah. Back in the 80s, absolutely, but yeah, we've seen how supposedly rich people actually handle their money.
Which is to say, not at all.
Yeah. Didn't you already say that a short while ago? That's enough. Let's take a break. We're all repeating the same things over and over again. Yeah, at this point, it's kind of like, unless you guys are going to get an axe and cut open Kinzo's door, there's not a lot you can do here. Certainly not right now where you can't, get a court order from the cops. And even then, they might just ignore you, but maybe not considering you're all from the same affluent family. According to the clock, it was almost midnight. Certainly was a perfect time for a break. The atmosphere relaxed just a bit.
同感や。お互い一服するのも悪くないで。
I agree. It'd do both sides some good to take a breather.
ほな以後は議事を取りながらにせんか。
Listen, why don't we take a record down for the
言っ
rest?
た言わないはもうごめんや。
I've had enough of fighting over what was or wasn't said.
全くだわ。下の根も乾かないうちにそんなことは言ってないなんて。平気で言い出す兄さんとの会議に議事録は必須だものね。
Because of course Ava acts like this still.
Mm-hmm. Although that's a really good, that's a good line though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Seriously, we really can't do without a record of proceedings. Not when Kraus can so easily deny something he said before the words stop bouncing off the walls.
文字じゃ書くのも手間だし、インチキだっていくらでもできるわ。
With a written record, just writing it would be a pain and it'd be open to forgery.
そうだね。兄貴。こいつは動くのか。
Right. Bro, does this thing work?
オーディオセットかね。
The tape set.
なるほど。
I see.
それならば議事を手書きせずに済むし、捏造もできんね。
This way we can keep a record without bothering to write it down, and forgery will be impossible. Not impossible, improbable.
Although I don't think that the tools for forging that would exist on the island.
Not on the island. Well, I mean, maybe on the island considering the shit Kinzo gets up
Yeah.
to, but probably not. Yeah, exactly. Like, there's so much I would not actually put past Kinzo.
Yeah.
If there...
We could just assume that any and all the tools necessary for anything is just like on the island somewhere because of Kinzo.
Yeah, pretty much. Basically, the only thing he doesn't seem to have is a lockpick set.
Which is weird. 'Cause even in the 80s, they had electronic lockpicks where you could just like fucking hold down the thing and it would pop open.
Yeah. Then again, he had a lot of doors he didn't want picked.
True.
互いにとって公平だ。
It's fair for both sides. Yeah, that's honestly a fair way to do things. I will be interested to see what all gets said that we are going to hear on the tapes, but not here in the room.
勝手にいじらないように。当主様の
Make sure you don't mess anything up. Those are Father's precious music tapes.
The dignified tape set had a
You know
sense
what? Yeah. I'd be pissed if, like, even if I was already dead, if someone fucking overwrote my music tapes.
Yeah.
Don't touch my music. Fuck you.
The dignified tape set had a sense of weight to it, which matched this majestic dining hall perfectly. On pleasant Sunday mornings, it would sometimes be used to play famous tapes or records. However, right now, it was the most neutral and impartial conference record keeper around. Rudolph fished randomly around the cassette rack, searching for a blank tape. And every time he found some tape with sophisticated music, he would chuckle at how pompous it was.
Ember, why? Get out of here. Rick?
失礼します。お呼びでしょうか。
Excuse me. You cold?
休憩することになったの。
We're taking a break.
申し訳ないんだけど、何か飲み物を用意してもらえない？
Sorry, but could you make us something to
ビ
drink?
スケットみたいなものがあってもいいかもね。
And maybe some biscuits would be nice too.
かしこまりました。すぐにご用意いたします。
Sure. I will prepare it right away.
あと、ごめんなさい。風邪薬あるかしら？
Also, sorry, do you have any cold medicine?
さっきから熱っぽくて。
I've been feeling a bit feverish. Oh, is this the time for Witch Rosa?
Yeah,
And
I don't know if that's been foreshadowed at all. but
It's certainly been foreshadowed in that Maria keeps saying she gets possessed by an evil witch.
that's true, actually.
So Maria's belief in the evil witch side, at the very least, probably is going to create a thought form.
Yeah.
Then don't overstrain yourself.
休みたまえ。
Get some sleep.
ローザがいいと思うなら好きに休めば。
Don't start making these jokes while you're not a witch. We get enough of that from Ava Trichet. If you really feel like it, why don't you get some sleep, Rosa?
私ならこの大事な会議中に風邪くらいじゃ休まないけど。
Yeah, she was already saying that she wasn't going to. She was just asking for some fucking meds to make it easier. You fucking weirdo!
Though I wouldn't step out of such an important conference because of a simple cold.
そうかね。私は遠慮なく休ませてもらうよ。
You
Really?
lazy bitch.
I would excuse myself without hesitation.
夏日、私たちも少し休まないかね。
Nazi, why don't we take a short rest too?
はい、あなた。
Yes, dear. Fuck off. Go away, cat.
Sensing that he meant to have a strategy meeting, Nazi stood up. Even if that wasn't the case, she was so desperate to get out of the room even for a moment that she'd have taken any excuse. Yeah, honestly, I get that. I'd certainly want to get out of that room for a while with those people. Having that conversation.
I'd have already taken like a chair to someone, so.
That is also fair. Nazi left the dining hall, and the tension in the room truly relaxed.
バトラ君もお疲れ様。
You've been doing great, Battler.
最悪の気分でしょ。
I imagine you feel just
大
horrible.
人の階段だと思って諦めて。
Think of this as
Fuck
a
that.
part
That's stupid, Kiri.
as part of growing up and just accept it.
That's fucking stupid, Kiri.
Yeah, no, especially coming from you, who ditched being the head of your organization. / family.
Because of shit like this.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Though, maybe she does have a mentality of, alright, if you want to ditch and run, ditch and run.
Yeah. It's one of those, like decide quickly. Ditch and run or stick with it.
Yeah. Just how long am I going to have to sit around doing nothing here?
さあ、バトラ君は私たちのおみこしだからね。
Who knows? After all, you're like our personal donation box. Sleepy?
古典の授業程度には
About the same as Japanese lit class. Yeah,
Honestly, like the literature classes, like I never found boring at all.
yeah. No, most of my English teachers were pretty good about making the content interesting, even if it was a classic I had very little interest in. Because there's definitely some fucking boring classics.
Like, yeah, honestly, a lot of them are boring. Is like just generally speaking. It's like that old thing about the we honor ancient warriors not because they were better than us, but because they laid the foundation for what we have now.
Yeah.
And that's exactly right. Those old great American authors or whatever were not actually that good. Their shit's kind of not good, in fact. But we like them because they greatly influenced what came right after, and then that builds up until to what we have today.
Yeah, the only one that I can think off the top where I'm like, yeah, no, this guy's just still good is Shakespeare.
Oh yeah, but that's because like that's the bard, you know?
Yeah, that's
like he has the title of the bard.
Yeah, like
the singular bard of all all English history is that motherfucker.
Yeah. Like, we
still use like 80% of the phrases he coined today.
Yep, exactly. He created new phrases, new words. Just went and had the guts to go, I don't have a word for this. I'm just making one up.
Mm-hmm.
Just on the spot. And
I actually found a fucking like a list of the phrases that he coined, and like I was scrolling. I don't remember the name of the list now, but I was scrolling through it at the time. I was like, I use like 50% of these, and I talk funny. So
yeah, absolutely. And it's like, so you have stuff like that, and the fact that he was just a very humorous individual. So as long as you have the context for what he's saying, because
yeah,
like I understand if you're, still going through literature classes or you remember your literature classes and they were boring as hell because the teacher didn't explain, oh, this is a sex joke.
oh yeah, there's so. People think that Shakespeare was highbrow. No, it's not. The language that he used was even for the common folk. All right, like that was the familiar, casual speech.
Yeah, that was familiar.
It's not fancy old shit. That's like how we talk today, but back then.
Yeah,
essentially.
Like, there's a reason that factory workers had this shit read to them as they were working.
Mm-hmm. Like, for anyone who didn't get this explanation when they were younger, for example, I bite my thumb at you, sir, is fuck you, buddy.
Yep.
That's what it means. It's not some like weird old fashioned fucking insult. It's literally just fuck you, dude. I hate you. Die in fire.
Yeah. Or, I'm not telling you to fuck off, but I am saying fuck off in general.
There's also like a lot of there's also a lot of your mom jokes.
Yeah, plenty of your mom jokes. Just very much.
The way like you conjugate with using thou and thee and thy, that was all casual speech.
Yes.
What we use now is the formal version, like the impersonal version.
Yes, you. You is the formal, as Quinn says. Thou is the informal.
Yeah, and that got popular because it trickled down from the nobles into the merchant class, and then into the merchant class's workers. So.
Yeah, because everybody tries, to some extent, to talk like the higher class. It's just that has changed a little bit to go away from just pure royalty to talking like celebrities.
And even when you don't try, you start to mirror the people around you, right? So, like, if you don't want to speak like a noble in the 1600s, but everyone else around you was speaking like your boss, you would start speaking like your boss too, because you're at work and you're around those people all the time, and it will slip into your personal life too.
Yeah, exactly. Like
the same thing with like corpo speak today. Like,
yeah, except I will absolutely make fun of anybody who speaks corpo speak.
Oh yeah, I absolutely will too. But that also happened back then. I'm sure people made fun of each other for saying you instead of the.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I wouldn't really have done much about it. But if some motherfucker actually tries to say synergize without irony, fuck you.
Or circle back.
Yeah.
Okay, buddy. Sure. But like because of like that knowledge of like how language works and what that is, whenever I'm playing like a Souls game or some other fantasy thing where they're speaking to me in that sort of Shakespearean English, it always makes me imagine them just like lounging around, being like, "All right, dude, I need you to go do this. You go to that," instead of actually speaking to me like an actual person.
Yeah.
Because like they're trying, like I know that the writers are trying to come off as like sophisticated and old and ancient and everything, but to me it just sounds like Marcus going like, "Oh yeah, you need to go fucking jump off a cliff. Get out of here,
yeah,
nerd."
I'm pretty sure Father won't show up tonight anyway. When Kraus and the rest come back, I'll propose that we might as well let you go.
よろしく頼むぜ。
I'd appreciate that.
Although, one literature dude that actually did stand the test of time is fucking Poe.
Oh yeah,
Poe's work
Poe.
is still incredible.
And still, one of the remarkable word for word going over of that is still The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror. Of The Raven.
Hmm. I need to do more with Poe's work, like, because he's got some really evocative phrases.
Oh, absolutely.
The only thing I've ever done with that was inspired by him was I named the monster that Leia turns into her bad end. Like the timeline that's not gonna happen but could happen if she had less support or some shit. I named it the Nevermore because it's a raven monster.
Yeah. Like, there's a reason it is a classic monster that was used right away in Ruby. Right alongside the Beowulf. Tap tap, a light knock, and the faint sound of china clinking together could be heard.
失礼します。
Excuse us.
お茶をお持ちいたしました。
We have brought tea.
Shannon and Cannon had come by with a serving
I'm
cart.
making tea right now.
Pleasant smell of black tea relieved their attention all the more. Yeah, honestly, I get that. Just some good tea.
よ、話は聞いてるか？
Hey, did you hear?
何のお話でしょうか。
What are you talking about? Come on, Kraus.
僕たちは何も。
Or not Kraus, Rudolph.
We didn't hear anything.
よしなさいルドルフ。教える必要は何もないわ。
Stop it, Rudolph. There's no need to tell them, or no reason to tell them.
僕たちは親族会議のお話には関心ありません。
We are furniture, so we have no interest in the family conference.
そう。
Man, every time one of these dudes, like one of the serpents says this, like I want to reach the screen and strangle fucking Kinzo.
Yeah.
I know he's dead, but like, I can have a little desecration as a treat.
Yep. Listen, we can bring the thought form of Kinzo back just to shake him by the collar one more time.
He's dead, but he could be deader. Yes.
Yes, indeed.
それが賢い返事だわ。
I see, that's a wise answer. I mean, it is the good answer to have if you're a servant in this situation.
Mm-hmm. Just like, don't look at me, don't pay attention to me, don't fire me, don't fucking tie cinder blocks to my legs.
Yeah, I've got no interest in this. I just answer to the person who's paying my paycheck.
Don't assassinate me, please.
深夜勤なの？大変ね。
You have the midnight shift. That must be tough.
そういうお役目ですので、
That is our job.
ご用命いただけて嬉しいです。
We would be happy to receive your orders.
そうかもしれんな。することもなくぼんやり起きてる方がしんどいもんや。
You could be right
I
there.
actually agree with Hideyoshi here. Like, it is much more exhausting to be unable to sleep for whatever reason, but be forced to just sit around and do nothing. It's just so fucking mind-numbing.
Yeah, it really is.
Speaking from great amounts of experience, considering I have chronic insomnia, it sucks.
Yeah, I've been having more insomnia lately. I'm gonna have to talk to my doc about that. 'Cause, yeah, I've definitely had that experience, and I've definitely had times when I was a kid where I just could not fucking sleep, and there's no amount of closing my eyes and laying down that would actually cause me to sleep.
Yeah, okay, so a little bit of advice for sleeplessness and insomnia in general. Yeah, this goes for everyone. When you're having like a night where you can't sleep, don't lay there for 3 hours with your eyes closed. That's not going to help. The recommended thing that you do via doctors, anyway, is to try to sleep for about 15, 20 minutes. If it doesn't work, get up and do something else for 30 minutes to an hour, and then try again later.
Yep.
Because all you're going to do by like laying there is frustrate yourself, move it, like have your head go in circles, and then make yourself sore.
Yeah, absolutely. But, as a kid, it was very much you get in that bed and you don't get out until it's time to get up.
Yeah, and that's because like at least my parents don't understand anything about insomnia, even though like my mother also has insomnia. She's fucking in her 60s somewhere. She just doesn't get that. That doesn't help.
Yep. So, yeah, definitely had nights like that when I was a kid, but now I do know better to get up and do something, try and lay back down again, keep the rotation going until you actually can sleep.
Mm-hmm. I didn't get to sleep until like 7:30, 8 o'clock today. This is just like normal for me.
Yeah.
So even when I do get to sleep for a day, like it's usually like 5 hours or less.
Yeah. It'd probably be even more tiresome to sit around awake doing nothing. When I was still down in the bottom rungs, I once worked as a warehouse keeper. Even if you're just staying awake, it's still pretty tough. Right after the war, you had robbers all over the place. Plus, you couldn't rely on the police back then, so it was a pretty dangerous time. Yeah. Granted, I wouldn't rely much on the cops now, but at least you could probably get somebody to deal with property crime.
Yeah, like supposedly things are marginally better in Japan. I don't know how much I believe that, but supposedly.
Yeah, it's generally, from what I've seen, it's good unless you get accused of a crime. But if you are just dealing with, like, the average street cop is not as bad as the average street cop in the United States.
Yeah.
Because usually they're from the neighborhood in Japan. They actually, live around there, go to some of the same places. So usually they actually mind their fucking business and don't cause trouble, because that's causing trouble with their social circle as well. Whereas in the United States, you have a lot of cops that are not actually from the neighborhood they're policing. Hideyoshi was particularly proud of how he had started with nothing and built up assets by diverting goods from the American army. Once the subject came up, Hideyoshi tended to get pretty talkative. The relatives knew this and were greatly relieved to see that a perfect sacrifice had come up. You got found out, you were in for it big time. Those Yanks are scary. Okay.
That is actually true, by the way. At the time, we definitely ate more meat than the Japanese did, so we had more protein in our diets.
Yep. Their strength's in another league because of all that beef they eat. Another thing that kind of demoralized a lot of armies, but particularly during the Second World War, was the fucking ice cream ship.
Yeah, like fucking the fact that we could send like treats essentially over to our soldiers.
Yes, and that's all the ship had is It's meant to resupply the ice cream supply. Because that shows a level of logistics that other militaries didn't have, and they're like, well, fuck.
And for foot soldiers that don't fucking understand the logistics in the first place, they're like, fuck, why don't we get that? That sucks.
Yes, there is also that. But yes, logistics are very important. Now it's ice cream or other treats like that. Back in the day, it was alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're straight in another league because of all that beef they eat.
捕まったら最後銃殺刑かデスパイハンギングや
Get caught, and that'd be the end of you. Firing squad or death by hanging. Yes, also salt.
Yep, salt.
わかるか
Although salt's pretty easy to get for an island nation like Japan. For obvious reasons.
You know that one, death by hanging.
いやそれでなわしは思うたんや
Oh yeah, and then I figured it out.
肉や肉や
It's all about the meat. The
日
meat.
本人はもっと肉を食わな
God damn it! This just reminded me of the scene from fucking Solo Leveling where the nurse is just like, what great meat!
Yes. Yes.
Fuck. Oh, gods.
It's all about the meat.
That horny
The
fucking
meat.
nurse.
Japanese people gotta eat more meat.
そしてわしは胃袋をつかむ商売を始めなあかんという典型を受けたんや
And that's when I had the revelation. I had to start up a business to capture people's stomachs. I mean, fair. Again, not an industry I would complain about existing, necessarily.
And Shannon's like, what the fuck is going on? Help!
I see.
それは大変なお仕事ですね。
That must have been quite a difficult task.
よしなさいよあなた。
Stop it, darling.
戦後生まれにいくら話しても当時の苦労なんか伝わらないわよ。
No matter how much you tell people born after the war, they'll never understand how hard it was back then. I'm not sure about that. Like, you can kind of explain it, but also, I mean, it is kind of a thing that people who make documentaries and things have to work hard to actually convey. So, it's not a simple task, but it's not impossible.
Okay, I don't remember why I started looking into this, but looking at some numbers here, and in the 1950s, the average height of Japanese men and women was 1.5 meters. Now it is 1.72 meter and 1.58 meters, respectively, for men and women.
Huh.
So he would have been very right to have done that, to start up a restaurant business, essentially, that serves a lot of meat. Because it worked. It fucking worked in real life.
Oh yeah,
So-
absolutely. An increase of diet actually, and into proteins and things. And the reason they got taller, Hideyoshi, you're welcome.
They're actually not that much shorter than we are in the States on average.
Yep.
The average height for men in the States is 177 centimeters. It's like barely any different at all. Of course, they're all fucking taller than me, but that's because I'm short.
Yeah. What am I, like 165?
It's 167 for me.
Because in America, I am 5'5".
I am 5'6". Technically like 5'6.5" or so, but I don't think that and a half really matters. The people who made my ID obviously didn't care either.
Yeah.
They just like put me down as 5'6". So
Yeah, I don't bother with the half or quarter. And see, this is why we need to move to centimeters.
yep.
Oops, looks like my bad habits jumped out again.
すまんすまん。
Sorry,
What's actually
sorry.
hilarious to me is that me, Nate, and Trigg are all the exact same height.
Fair enough.
Like, we are all 167 centimeters, which is just ridiculous.
あなたたちもお茶をしていきなさいよ。
You two should have some tea as well.
たまには自分たちがどういう紅茶を入れてるか、その下で学ぶのもいい勉強になると思うわ。
I think it might help you if once in a while you used your own mouse to learn more about the tea you're brewing.
Honestly, not a bad call.
I mean, it's good to know which teas are good and which ones you would recommend.
Yeah.
I guess you would...
Actually, what kind of tea do you think they're drinking? Like, what the overarching type, not brand or anything like that? Because I know they said the brand at some point, but that was like fucking 3 episodes ago, and I don't remember.
Yeah. Probably something...
You think it's a breakfast tea?
Yeah, probably something like an English breakfast tea.
So my bet's on like Earl Grey.
Yeah. It's, yeah, either like a breakfast tea or like an Earl Grey. Because I know they said it was a black tea. But
Yeah, but that does not narrow it down at all.
Yeah, that narrows it down by like half at most.
There are 5 major types of tea, but only 4 of them are actually from the tea plant. Like black tea, green tea, orange tea, and white tea.
What's the other one?
The orange and white. That's herbal tea.
Ah.
It's not actually tea. But that's the stuff that's just like, oh yeah, we threw some rose hips and some blueberries and some lemongrass in a bag together. Here you go. Which is actually pretty good.
Yeah, like, it is very good. And I don't know what you would call it to make it appetizer and also make it appetizing when you say it. Other than herbal tea.
Yeah, that's why people do stuff like... so one of the green teas that I have is just called Cherry Blossom. Because, green tea doesn't sound appetizing. It just sounds like colored tea. Green tea and black tea are the only teas that actually are the color that they're advertised as.
Yeah.
Like white tea and orange tea are just like tea.
Yeah.
That's what they look like. They just look like tea.
Yeah. 結構です。お気遣いなく。
No, we'll be fine. There's no need to be concerned for our sakes.
少し付き合ってくれよ。
Hang out with us for
I
a
wish
bit.
I still had some of this fucking cherry blossom. I've got the tin still, and it still smells like the tea, but there's no actual tea left in the fucking tin. And I'm upset about it.
大人ばかりで、俺も窒息しそうなんだ。
Being surrounded by only adults makes me feel like I'm gonna suffocate.
そら、次期当主のバトラ様のご命令
God
だぞ。
damn you, Rudolph. You were told to quit that shit.
Amber, stop. Lay down. No. You are okay, buddy. I promise. You are. Are you upset because I'm paying attention to the tin now and not you? The fucker. At least his brother is relatively calm right now.
Yeah. But yeah, goddamn you, Rudolph. Hear that? That's an order from Lord Battler, successor to the head.
そこに座って、俺たちとしばらくお茶しろい。
Sit over there and have some tea with
それ
us.
で、最近の出来事
Battler just in the back of his head right now is like, Dad, I'm gonna fucking strangle you.
Yeah, yeah. This is the face of a man planning murder.
It's just like the anime face where they're just smiling so wide their eyes are closed, but it's got the sinister to it.
Yeah. And tell us about what's been going on recently, your hobbies, TV shows you're watching, and whatever it is that's popular with young folks these days.
俺たちの勉強になるからな。
There's a lot we could learn.
Now, if Rudolph was being sincere here, I'd say good job. But what he's actually doing is just trying to talk about something, literally anything else, than yelling constantly.
Yeah, which, I mean, also fair.
Yeah.
Because a screaming match that's going nowhere, well, you can only sustain that for so long.
Did I ever tell you about the time where I, along with Tyr, managed to somehow be angry and loudly angry for like 3 days straight, breaking only for food?
No, you did not.
I don't
Amazing.
remember what the fuck it was about, but like something set me off, and then something also set him off, and we were just playing off of each other, a feedback loop of like undiluted rage. It was exhausting. Once we were done, we were just sort of like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna die.
But yeah, my only problem with what fucking Rudolph said is he had to bring up the fact that Battler may be
He's
the
the
successor
successor.
to the head.
Yeah. Well, the servants just like snapped to him. He's like, "Really? You're our boss now? Fuck you." Shit.
Then again, I don't know. I think I'd prefer him to be the next head than Kraus. If I was
Oh, I
working there.
absolutely would. It's same, but also, it's Battler.
Yeah. Granted, like I said
Fuck,
last
dude, I'm gonna be
time.
homeless in a couple of years.
Well, like I said last time, Battler has the humility to actually delegate.
True. Yes. I just know he'd be like one of those fucking dudes that's like sitting there at his desk for like 6 hours straight, staring at a fucking stack of paperwork, going, "I understand none of this."
Yeah. No, absolutely. He also has a sense of fairness, so I do
That's
think
true. Yeah.
I do think
He
there
would
would
at
be
least try to make sure that the servants weren't homeless afterwards.
yeah. So there is that as well.
明暗ね。
That's a brilliant idea.
ほら、二人とも座って。
Come on, sit down, both of you,
そして話題に飢えた私たちの生贄になってちょうだい。
and become our sacrifices now that we're starved of things to talk about.
そうやな。
That's right.
若い子と話をしよう思たら、キャバクラでもいかんと、この年では難しいわ。
Cabaret club? What kind of young folk are you meeting at a cabaret club, dude?
I mean, anyone 18 and up?
I guess is like, okay, I
Oh.
call people who are 20 years old babies, but that's a joke. I'm not being serious about it.
Yeah, in this case, he is saying young folk, not children. But
Oh no, like because Canon is like 16, right? 16 or 17.
yeah, he's like 16, 17. Because he's basically Jessica's age, and then Shannon is like 17, 18, I think.
Yeah. Actually, what anime were popular in 1986?
86.
I know of a couple from back then, but I don't know which ones were like the big ones at the time, right? Okay, Dragon Ball. Yeah, I thought that was a little bit earlier, but sure. Fist of the North Star was one that I was thinking of, yeah. Mobile Suit Gundam ZZ. Absolutely, that would have been huge at the time.
Yeah.
It's still huge today, in fact. Okay, Double Zeta, not ZZ. That's the actual pronunciation of it for fucking whatever reason.
Armored Trooper Botoms, which is another mech.
Doraemon. That one, I know that one's popular. I don't know much about it, but I know it is.
Astro Boy, of course, from the literal 1980.
Mm-hmm.
Sherlock Hound, which is exactly what you think it is.
There was a Super Mario Brothers anime? Fuck, dude.
Like we mentioned before, Urusei Yatsuru, which is also from the Urusei Yatsura, I should say.
Saint Seiya, I know that one as well.
Yep.
Yeah, Knights of the Zodiac.
Gunbuster.
Outlanders. Why do I know Outlanders?
Macross, of course. Ranma came out in 1989, so after this, but 80s. Oh, and of course, though this would be after, is Legend of the Galactic Hero, but that was 88.
What about 85? Okay, Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam, which is, I guess, the prequel to Double Zeta.
Yep.
More Doraemon. Okay.
But yeah, and in this case, I mean, it should be mentioned, this wasn't just, going to a cabaret show today. They were also hostesses that talked to the customers.
Oh, Vampire Hunter D.
Oh, when did that come out?
1985, yeah.
85,
Shit,
okay.
of course.
Yeah.
I also thought Vampire Hunter D was a bit later, but it's been a while. I should have watched that again. No, like the way that I think of cabaret is like 1920s, the like speakeasy shit, which I'm sure is not entirely accurate.
Yeah, no, you'll
But
get a better idea if you
this is-
play or watch someone play any of the Yakuza games, because a central bit of that is that was, well, the popularity of cabaret shows at this time. Especially in Yakuza
Cabaret
0.
Japan.
Oh, cabaret Japan.
I'm looking. Yeah, I'm seeing if like their version is different from what I know.
Yeah.
And it seems to be very different. In fact,
Yes, like there'll be...
it's a nightclub thing for them.
Yeah, like it's...
Whereas with us, it was just like a you like hide from the cops and drink there.
Yeah, like it was live music. It was girls coming over and chatting with you and encouraging you to party and buy drinks.
Okay, see, normally whenever I'm watching or reading something from Japan, this is translated as host or hostess club and not cabaret.
Yes, but they were actually, at least to some extent, called cabaret clubs.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at that now. It's a portmanteau of cabaret and club.
Yeah.
That is what they call it.
Yeah, so it's better translated as a hostess club, but I think it's the live music component that gives it something else to it. But so yeah, basically, it does have hostesses. They talk to you. They make you feel wanted as far as somebody talking to you, and that's about it.
Interesting. In Japan, being a hostess or a host in this context is categorized legally under prostitution.
Yep, despite the fact that nobody really touches anybody.
There are actually red light district versions.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure there are
They
red
do
light
actually
district
have that.
versions, but yeah, basically, it is the kind of place Japanese businessmen would have their meetings.
I'd rather just go to a normal bar.
Yeah, but no,
Like, get the hostesses out of here. I don't give a shit about that. I'm here to drink and talk business.
yeah, I mean,
That's what I give a shit about.
I agree, but it's much easier to grease the wheels with most people. Apparently. So that's also why a lot of American businessmen apparently go to strip clubs.
Oh yeah, like I understand the logic. It just doesn't compute for me because like my priorities are completely different.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so yeah, basically Hideyoshi's like, yeah, I go to hostess clubs. It's part of the job.
Fuck, dude. Talking about this made me want to write some more Underworld shit again.
Yeah, and the thing is, Japanese hostesses were encouraged to, in some cases, keep up on news and business, so they knew what the fuck the person was talking about.
Now that's an interesting idea for a protagonist.
Yeah, I thought you might.
I gotta
ping
write
off
that down.
Yeah, because in a lot of cases, they're encouraged, hey, know what they're talking about so you know how to deal with them. Yeah, hostesses as a vector for espionage.
Yeah. Let's see. Mash the two ideas together. Underworld crime sit with a hostess.
Yeah.
Terrorist.
Like, I absolutely need to show you the introduction of Majima in Yakuza 0. Because it'll give you some ideas, and if you imagine Majima as a woman, you'll be like, yes. Because it's already good, but if Majima was actually one of the hostesses rather than the guy running the club.
Majima Goro?
Yes, Goro Majima.
I'm going to keep that up on the other tab so I can just look at it later.
Yes, anyway.
いつまでボサッと突っ立ってんのよ。
How long are you planning on standing around
ル
there?
ドルフが座れと命令したわ。
Rudolph told you to sit.
座りなさいよ。
Go on, sit down.
私も許可してあげるわ。
And give you permission as well. After getting Aba's permission, Shannon and Cannon looked at each other and finally obeyed, nervously. Yeah. See, that's the kind of thing Battler would do, is there would be a lot more invitations of, yeah, enjoy the thing that I'm enjoying as well.
Suffer with me.
That as well, suffer with me, but also he'd be like, wow, this steak is good, you should try some.
Suffer as I have suffered.
Or when they're a little older, be like, here's some liquor. For a while, the two were pounded by questions and became the relatives' playthings. That's a way to
It
put
would
it.
be really funny if Cannon was actually like super into Dragon Ball and Fist of the North Star.
It would.
I don't think that that's like his type, judging by his personality. I think he'd be more into like Vampire Hearts of Deep, which is a completely different kind of action series. But it would be really funny if he was into Shonen.
It would be. Just very much not the kind of thing you expect him to be into. It's one of the things I do like in Persona 5, is some of these characters actually enjoy things you wouldn't have expected.
Which is like normal for people in general, right? Like,
yeah.
I enjoy stuff people wouldn't expect from me. I mean, I own it, so you probably would expect it from me now, but judging by my self-depiction online and how I behave most of the time, until I get talking about it, you probably wouldn't imagine that I do.
Yeah, not right away, I would imagine. Yeah, I would think, yeah.
So I do not seem like the kind of person to like soft, fluffy romance, huh? But
Yeah.
no, I do.
Yeah,
I
like,
love that shit.
I
Give me more.
admit I was slightly surprised when you got into the childcare genre.
Oh, yeah, okay, but Trig actually came up with a really good explanation for that, which I blindsided the fuck out of me that stream. It's like, my life has not been good when it comes to like family, so it's just like, of course I want like the good fluffy shit from
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Of course that speaks to me.
Another reserved knock could be heard. All of the servants
The
tend...
motherfucker like literally just applied it and it just like hit me like a fucking lightning bolt too. It's like, God damn it.
Yeah,
I'm
I
still
do
upset about
remember
that.
that.
It's been like 8 months. Damn it.
Yeah,
I
but...
should have clipped that when I still could. Fuck.
Yeah. In in the specific, there is the actually kind of polite talking girl whose father was a CEO at one time, who likes caring for plants, but also very much likes horror movies.
Oh, you know what? Here is something, like, speaking of what we were just talking about, and Persona, actually, things that you wouldn't expect people to be into. My friend Tier, the one who, raged with me for like 3 days, is more or less a carbon copy of me. He fucking loves Persona. Like, it's one of his favorite game series ever.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting, like, symbolism in there.
Oh, he doesn't give a shit about that. He likes the social stuff. I don't know why. He's not a social person, but he loves that shit.
Yeah, fair enough.
As is evidenced by the fact that you've probably talked to him literally once in like the 2 or 3 years you've been in the Discord.
Yeah,
he's not very social.
Yeah, I think it really was literally just once.
Actually, let's see. Go to the Discord. Search from Tyrannus.
There's another character whose dad was a cop, but she's actually quite into martial arts and Yakuza movies.
Okay. The last time he posted anything in the Discord was 3 years ago.
Wow.
I've talked to him since in private, but
yeah,
so I know he's still alive. It's just he does not show up very often anymore.
Yeah, which, fair enough. Although servants tend to knock in a silent manner, or similar manner, so no one noticed anything strange. However, Shannon and Cannon turned around with surprised looks on their faces. The servants here today included the two of them, Genji, Kumasawa, and Goda. Goda had the midnight shift at the guest house. Kumasawa had gone to bed in the servants' quarters in the guest house. And they were in here, so Genji was the only person left. And they knew very well that Genji wouldn't knock like that. Who is it? It's not locked, just come in. Rudolph didn't recognize the knock either. And when he asked who is it, everyone came to the same realization that they too had no idea who would knock like that. After that, the same knock repeated just once more. Ooh, spoopy. Thank you for getting that, Captioner. Could it be that someone had their...
Who does it get spoopy, but it doesn't... You can't distinguish amber versus ember. Hey, you did this time! Fuck yeah. Maybe because I said it right next to each other.
Could it be that someone had their hands full and was asking that the door be opened for them? As a slightly odd feeling began to encompass the room, the sound of the large clock in the hall could be heard. It was the sign that October 4th had ended and October 5th had begun.
Maybe it's because, like, you don't usually talk about embers in, like, singular format. Like, it's always embers, not an ember. Maybe that's why Captioner has trouble with it. I don't know.
Maybe. Short while earlier...
I'm struggling to think of a time where, like, you would say it as a singular word without it being the name of something.
Yep. Yeah, basically you would just say, like, about the only time you would is there was just a single ember left.
In that case, you might even say just like a hot coal instead.
Yep. So, probably just like a lack of...
Singular ember is a little awkward, just because, like, conventions.
Yeah, so just a lack of it being said enough to the point that it defaults to amber instead.
Yeah, I'm talking about your name, buddy.
Kraus and Natsuhi were well away from the dining hall in a deserted corridor on the second floor. So we no longer have any other options.
Yeah, it's your fault for promising to let them meet Kinzo the next day, alright? You did this to yourself, you fucking weirdo. Anyway, yes, I do not think the same trick will work again tomorrow.
Yeah, they'll probably pull out the axes by then.
これ以上を渋ればエヴァさんたち
I almost said go out to the car and get the fucking pry bar, but like there aren't any cars on
警
the
察
island.
に訴える可能性さえあります
If we hesitate any longer, there's a chance that Ava and the others will claim that we have father locked up and call the police.
Yeah, that would be the way to do it.
Personally, if I were one of these people, I would have already kicked the fucking door in. It's like, even if I hate Kinzo, like that, I'm not a fan of retributive justice. Like, ideologically, like I am personally a fan of it, but that's because I am not someone to be,
Yeah.
do not aspire to be like me. Aspire to be what I am not. So I like the sheer fucking ideological conviction would spur me to kick the door in and check on this dude. Like even if I fucking hated his guts, it's like that's elder abuse. You don't do that.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. There are very few people that I would actually say fuck them.
I would rather do like a quick, clean execution for those people instead of fucking locking them in a damn room for days on end, or weeks, or months, or however long.
True
I could
enough, but
toss them over the back fence afterwards. It's fine.
But
I
yeah.
have no compunction about like. There's no moral thing for me for like bodies. Is just dead meat. I don't give a shit. It only matters so long as the person inside the body is still alive. Afterwards, it doesn't matter. Who gives a shit? Certainly not me.
Yeah, funerals are for the living, not the dead.
Mm-hmm. I almost feel like they should be for the dead though, like to like genuinely honor the dead.
Yeah, but it's so rarely that. It is very much more
Yeah, I think that's just like
put the punctuation point on a life and maybe give some closure.
Yeah, I think that's just like my child idea back when I was, fucking 8 and first learned what a damn funeral was and like the cultural connotations of it. I think that's just like that understanding of funerals speaking there.
Yeah.
Because logically, I know that it's just like it's for the living. Of course it is. Otherwise, there wouldn't be any fucking booze at them, or food, or music, or anything.
Yeah, exactly.
But like somewhere in the deepest depths of my brain, it's just like, no, funerals should be for the dead. Fuck the living. It's not your day.
Yeah.
This is the last day that this person will ever have. Let them have it.
Yeah, that's fair. We ended up not having a actual proper funeral for my grandfather. We just had to get together, just the family.
Yeah. We had a proper funeral for Michael, but I don't remember fucking any of it. The only thing I remember is because I think I told this part of the story already, but I asked Smitty to do the eulogy, give a speech. I don't remember any of what he said. And then afterwards, I remember trying to get someone's attention. I think it was Vasquez. By like leaning out the fucking window, like I climbed halfway out of the damn window of the car and was like yelling his name across the fucking cemetery. He was literally like 30 feet away, but he just somehow didn't hear me, despite me yelling his fucking name. And I was like, all right, whatever. I don't give a shit anymore. And just went back inside the damn car.
Fair enough.
But that's all I remember. I don't remember taking the picture that I showed you of the fucking the plastic ass tombstone that he got.
Yeah. But
I don't actually remember taking that photo. So
just in general, my family wasn't up for the actual funeral and having to deal with getting everybody's condolences and getting that all together.
Yeah. It was fucked up, actually, because I've had 2 major deaths that I remember very well. And Michael, we got almost fucking nothing from anyone around us, like at all.
Yeah.
But then when Justin died, my older brother, adopted, died, we had a whole ass fucking party for him. And that was the day that I set the record for how much I have ever drank in my life. It was like 17 shots, several beers, and then half an arrogant bastard ale, which almost made me sick because it was that fucking bitter. God, never. I will never ever touch one of those again.
Yeah.
When I say it almost made me sick, that was only after a couple of shots. So it wasn't that I was too drunk and that was more. It was just that fucking disgusting. It was so bad that even Michael didn't want it. He was just like, "Here, take this." And I was like, "What the fuck is this, man?" Took a swig and went, "Oh no!" I don't think anyone ever actually drank that thing. Fuck. Oh, I remember my cousin vomiting in a dog bowl because she drank too much.
Oh.
Little fucking waist length hair being kept out of her hair while she was sitting on the fucking rickety ass steps of the damn white plastic, one of those heavy plastic dog bowls, and she was just blah.
Oof.
Very funny.
あれさえなければ、なんとかうまくやりくりできる筋書きを考えていたのですが。
Battler finding the gold was completely unexpected. If only that hadn't happened, I thought of a plan which might have managed to get us through this somehow.
私がかけるといつもこうだな。
Just like
Maybe you should stop betting then, Kraus.
Just like every other bet I've
い
made.
つも想定外のことが起き、絶対確実だった話。
Yeah, you might be cursed, buddy.
おかしくなる。
Something unexpected always arises, and the guaranteed outcome is thrown off course.
明日の朝、お父様の部屋が空っぽであるということにします。
We'll have father's room be empty starting tomorrow morning.
源氏と口裏を合わせ、早朝に森へ出かけていくのを見たと言わせましょう。
Let's plan it out with Genji and have him say that he saw father heading out to the forest early in the morning.
その思想をエヴァたちが素直に受け入れるとは思えん。
I doubt
All
it.
you really got to do is make the damn room seem lived in. Like an empty plate, a half drink, glass of fucking absinthe or whatever the fuck it is, etc.
Yeah. I doubt Ava and the
A
others
cup
will
of tea that's
swallow that
only
story of his
half
disappearance.
cool.
Yeah, I mean, they can have all the doubts they want, but if you go, yeah, he's missing and he started missing now, that does give you the clock to run out.
Mm-hmm.
客も承知です。しかし、もうそれしか手がありません。
I'm fully aware of that. However, we have no other options.
Yeah, you
As long
guys.
as you're really, really thorough in setting up the office to make it look like it actually has been lived in recently, then like could do it. Could make it happen.
Maybe, but even then, it's like, oh, that is remarkably convenient.
Oh yeah, super convenient, but also at a certain point you just gotta be like, all right, there's enough evidence that like this has been lived in recently.
そのようなことをすれば、エヴァたちは疑わしいと騒ぎ。
Tricking people into believing shit isn't about making a perfect plan or having it happen at like less convenient times, and more about making sure it looks on the surface proper. Because people won't actually look too closely. Even if they say they will, they won't. As long as everything looks right, they're not going to look too deep into it.
Yeah, though.
This is why the whole like look like you belong thing works. It's just like as long as it looks right, no one gives a shit.
Yeah, the only issue is they have the DM'd girlfriend here.
That's true.
They don't know that part, but they do know she's a fucking detective about shit.
Yeah.
If we do such a thing, Ava and the others will doubtless make a fuss about it being
エヴ
suspicious.
ァたちは金をせしめるためなら、なりふりなど構うまい。
They aren't worried about appearances as long as they can squeeze some money out of us.
それこそおかしな雑誌とつるんで、私の信用にダメージを与えてくるかもしれない。
They might strike a deal with some odd magazine and cause some serious damage to the confidence placed in me.
ダメージで済むではありませんか。
We can live with damage.
万一にもお父様の秘密を知られたら、それどころでは済みません。
If by any chance Father's secret is discovered, it won't be a matter of mere damage.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, that's like legal trouble right there.
There's nothing wrong with persisting into the last second tomorrow.
もしも明日を無事に乗り切ることができれば、私たちは何も失うものはないのだ。
We're able to make it through safely. We won't have to lose anything.
Fuck, I just realized to write the underworld thing with the hostess main character, I'd actually have to study business. God damn it. I don't want to do that.
Well,
But it's a good story idea. Fuck.
Well, the thing with that is, you just have to have the surface illusion of understanding it.
Oh, I know, but it's still more than I want to do because I don't like business as like a realm of study. Most things I will happily study or research, but that's mind-numbing.
Fair. There's no
Mostly
need...
because it's literally all fucking made up.
Yeah. There's no need to get impatient and use our trump card. No, this is about the time to use it. I'm sorry, Kraus.
Yeah, you're in a corner. You want to wait until after they start accusing us of locking Father up and then reply that he's gone missing. That is far more likely to draw suspicion.
Yeah, she's got the point.
I just like had like an epiphany of why gods and comics and everything are always like randomly commenting on things that people do. It's because they're doing the same shit we're doing right now.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's just like the peanut gallery.
Oh yeah,
popcorn, drinking tea.
That's 100% why they do it.
Fuck. Let's just put Father to rest now. Yeah, like every comic always tries to come up with some unique thing for like why the gods are doing it. Maybe they get some like weird worship or whatever out of it. But nah, like the actual reality of it is they're fucking bored and like they're just watching. They got nothing else to do. They've already done all their work for the day. They're just sitting around.
Yeah.
Oh gods. To go any further would be impossible.
Calm yourself. You've just had too much exposure to the toxin from Eva and the others, and have lost your composure. Only 2 keys exist which can let anyone into the study. And you have both of them right here.
I got a skeleton key that'll get me into any door. It's called a fucking axe.
That means no one can go inside.
Have we seen which side the hinges are on?
That door is of a very special make.
I would assume the hinges are on the inside, but...
No matter what kind of tools they bring out of the storehouse, it won't even budge.
It isn't a physical problem like that. You're okay, buddy. Shut up.
Look, stop panicking, settle down. You like, you can pretend to have gotten a fever and stay in bed.
He did set that up already, actually, so that was kind of clever.
Yeah, that's true. In the meantime, I will overcome all of this.
I can't leave everything to you. I'll fight until the end, too.
When Natsuki could no longer hold back the tears brought on by her fierce emotions,
You finally
Kraus
see
held her
him do
gently.
something like worthy of being a husband here.
Yeah, really?
Finally. It only took 5 goddamn episodes.
Yeah. Just how long had it been since she'd last felt warmth from her husband's embrace? Your headache is killing you, isn't it? Whenever you get those creases between your eyebrows, I can tell. She had come to think that her husband could never understand the way she felt. But when it came to times like this... Let's wait for the very last moment before using our disappearance trump card.
殿下の報道と同じだよ。
It's like a last resort treasured
抜
sword.
かないうちが花だ。
It's best when it remains in its sheath.
大事なのはいつでも抜けるという心構えではないかね。
The important thing is being ready to pull it out at any time. Wouldn't you agree?
それは分かっています。
Like, you could say that, like, he'd gone senile and didn't want to damage his honor or something like that. And
Yeah.
then, like, he just went missing and he started panicking. That would actually be pretty believable.
Yeah, I could see that.
It's like, they're wealthy, and it's Japan in the 1980s, and Nazi is Nazi.
Yeah.
That's very believable, actually. I understand that.
その切り札を私に預けてくれんかね。
Why don't you leave that trump card with me?
もちろん最後の瞬間の責任は全て私が取る。
Of course, at the final moment, I will take all of the
君
responsibility.
とジェシカは巻き込まん。
Won't get you and Jessica involved.
それはどういう意味ですか？
What do you mean by that?
後ろ宮家が滅ぶ時、その瓦礫に潰されるのは私だけで十分だ。
The Ushiromiya family is destroyed. It is enough that I alone am crushed under the rubble.
台風が過ぎたら離婚届を準備しよう。
After the typhoon passes, I will prepare divorce
そ
forms.
れに夏
Yeah, at the end of the last episode, he did showcase this part of himself where he is very willing to take the blame on himself or take the responsibility or with a risk, as long as it's not going to hurt his kid and his wife.
Yeah, that is the one thing, is it's like, yeah, he actually does care about his family. It's
He's
just
just a garbage person.
yeah, he's just a garbage person, which is kind of what Umineko, one of Umineko's main themes seems to be, is that garbage people do occasionally have good traits. And
Yeah, like no one is literally all bad or all good.
yeah, no, literally nobody is just a monster. They might do monstrous things, but they are still humans. And we have to face that reality.
Yeah, which is very important. Don't dehumanize evil people. They're still people. That's kind of the point.
Yeah, because the thing is, you'll run across somebody who did a good thing for you, but did monstrous shit to other people. And you have to be able to square that in your head.
Mm-hmm. This is why complex villains are like so popular, is because they remind people of that. Yes, force of nature villains or pure evil villains are also fun and interesting in some ways. But complex villains are much more human, so they resonate much more easily.
Yep. I will prepare divorce forms. I will sign the papers for you to keep and use when you
内
please.
緒で君の名義にしてある財産がある。
Okay, this was smart of you. I have some assets hidden away in your name.
さらにそれに慰謝料を加えれば、君とジェシカは不自由なく暮らせるはずだ。
Add on the settlement, and it should be enough for you and Jessica to live in comfort. That is way more forethought than I thought you would put into shit.
Yeah, I think he's not bad at thinking ahead. It's just that he gets tricked easily.
Yeah, that's also true, Quinn. As real-life evil becomes more cartoonish over time, I find the complex, redeemable villain to be a gratifying fantasy.
Yeah. Like, seriously, what the fuck, man? Like, why do we have cartoonishly evil people in the world right now? What happened? Like,
Seriously.
this is some Sunday morning shit that we've got to be dealing with right now. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Yeah, it's Sunday morning personalities, but with the gritty consequences. It's like the worst
It's
of both
like,
worlds.
it's fridge horror, but in real life.
Yeah.
It's real fridge horror. It's fucked.
私の墓碑に刻むべき名は後ろ宮夏日です。
No one said you had to change your name back. No, Ushiromiya Natsuki is the name that should be engraved on my tombstone.
どうか最後の瞬間までご一緒に。
Please let me be with you until the last moment.
たとえあなたが後ろ宮家最後の当主であろうとも、夏日を
Even if it turns out that you are the last head of the Ushomi family, please let Natsuki
あなたの
be the name of his wife, your wife.
させてください。
Yeah.
I kind of expected this.
Yeah, definitely. It is kind of that Shakespeare thing, again. Of, man, this is a tragedy that didn't need to happen. Krause's existence was based solely upon the power of his assets and
If
his
only they were
trustworthiness
all better
as a
people.
financial fixer. Yeah. Those
If
were
only they weren't all irredeemable trash fires.
those were both undermined, nothing would remain. Using the trump card of Kinzo's disappearance would mean losing one of these two essential supports. Like offering your right arm to save your head from being cut off. Probably better than losing your head, but you still might die from the blood loss. And even on the off chance that you did survive, you would have to bear a heavy wound that wouldn't heal for the rest of your life. Krause was prepared even for death. Natsuki understood this, buried her face in Krause's chest and cried.
Is he actually prepared for death, though? I don't think so. I think it's just like social and financial death,
お取り
not
込み
literal
中
death.
失礼いたします
My apologies for interrupting.
Genji's sudden voice made Natsuki jump back and hurriedly wipe the tears from her eyes. Krause stood in front of Natsuki, shielding her.
源氏さんか驚かせないでくれたまえ
Ah, Genji, please don't sneak up on
何
us.
か用かね
Do you have some business?
はい申し訳ございませんが奥様にご報告が
Yes, my apologies, but I have something to report to Madam.
私にですか。
To me.
あなた、
構わんよ
I don't mind. Krause left Natsuki's side, went to the window a short way off, and gazed at the windy and rainy rose garden. Natsuki went with Genji to a place a short distance
何
away.
事ですか。
What's it?
はい実はまた奥様にお電話が
Well, the truth is, another phone call has come for you, Madam. How?
That is a good question. It would have
How?
to be on the local line,
Yeah.
which means the caller is inside the island.
Inside the house. The
That-
call is coming from inside the house.
At that moment, she was surprised by a sudden eerie sound. It was a large clock in the hall announcing midnight.
まさか、また、あの
You
男
don't
な
mean
のですか。
that man again.
はいいかがいたしましょう
Yes. What is to be done?
Very
First
good.
off, figure out how the fuck the call went through.
Then again, have they established that they can't call out yet?
Probably not. I don't think they've established that, but the rules of the thing so far said like once the typhoon hits, no calls go out.
Yeah, exactly. But they haven't tried because no one's been murdered yet. So they don't even know that this is weird yet.
Yeah, so this is like just for us. Like, why is this? How?
Yeah, exactly. This is just us being like, well, fuck. That means whoever's calling is on the island.
It has access to one of the landlines somehow.
Yeah. Which, I mean...
Because there are cell phones at this stage, but like they're big, bulky, and don't work in storms.
Yeah, no, absolutely
Well,
not.
really, they only work in cities.
Yeah, they'd have to be in the guest house or somewhere in the mansion. Or at the phone in the cell in Kuadorian.
Okay, the first satellite phone was invented by Motorola in 1989. So definitely not possible
Yeah.
for anyone to be calling from off the island. Or like on the island, but not in the mansion somewhere. Ooh, boy.
Yep.
And of course, like a satellite phone back in even if there was one at the time, would not work in a typhoon.
Absolutely
They barely
not.
work during typhoons today.
要件は何だと言っていますか。
Although it still fucks me up that like GPS got like 10 meters more accurate by flipping a fucking switch.
Seriously?
Yeah, like there was this whole thing about it. I don't remember the exact details, but like sometime in the 90s, they just like flipped a switch essentially. Like they purposefully kept it inaccurate for a while and then just flipped the switch.
Huh. Fair enough.
So like it's entirely possible that a satellite phone in this time period would actually work during the fucking typhoon if they just had access to one that had the switch flipped for whatever reason.
I guess so. And that could be for a number of reasons, including just not letting foreign powers know exactly how accurate GPS could get.
Yes, I think that was actually the reasoning is that they used the good version for the military, and then it was eventually discovered, and they just flipped the switch for civilians or some shit like that. I don't remember, but that sounds right.
Yeah, because that's something we even do today with satellite images is they'll make it fuzzier than it has to be to obfuscate exactly how accurately they can see something.
Yeah, and companies like Google and all that are legally required to do that as well. So you won't see very many military bases anywhere on Google Maps. It'll just be like a fucking smear of color.
Yeah.
Where it is.
お答えいただけません。
Oh, right.
Yeah. Did he say he had what business he had with me? He would not answer.
奥様と直接お話ししたいとの一点張りでございます。
He kept insisting that he wanted to speak to you directly.
Again, a phone call from the man who claimed to be taking revenge for what had happened 19 years ago. 19 years ago. That was just 1 year before Jessica and Battler were born.
I wonder if this has been going on in each of the games.
I would think so, because I don't think the games affect things that happened that long ago. I could be wrong, but we haven't.
No, I mean, like the calls happening.
Oh, the calls happening. That I'm not sure about.
Yeah, because like this is the first time it's been done by a different game master as well.
Yeah, so it could be that it's a piece of information that needs to, well, enter the limelight.
Mm-hmm.
Natsuhi's eyes, the gap between 19 years ago and 18 years ago was immense. For a long time, she was unable to fulfill her role of creating a successor for the Ushiramiya family, and was treated very coldly. Then she finally gave birth to Jessica, became able to call herself the wife to the Ushiramiya successor with her head held high. That's fucked up, also. But, yeah. In her eyes, Ushiramiya Natsuhi began 18 years ago. Everything before that, including 19 years ago, contained nothing but hateful memories. The last year of that hateful period was whispering of revenge from the other end of the phone. Once again, she heard the roar of the sea. Yeah, she knows what she did. It's not like Battler, who has no fucking clue what his sin is.
いかがなさいますか?
The only way I can see this having happened, and it being like her actual child, is if she cheated, gave birth, and then said that it was stillborn.
Yeah, either that,
like when
or
the baby came out, she realized, oh fuck, that's not my eye color or my husband's eye color, or some shit.
yeah, and probably, at least to some insistence, by fucking Kinzo. Or at least the pressure was on her.
Yeah, fucking.
私の部屋に転送しなさい。
Transfer it to my room.
主人には内密に。
Don't let my husband know.
かしこまりました。
As you wish.
From the very beginning, Genji had understood that she wouldn't want Kraus hearing about this phone call. That was why he had told Natsu overtly. Natsu ordered that he transfer the call, told Kraus that she would turn in for the night, and left at a quick pace. She returned to her room and locked the door.
It can't be. The calls, at least this specific call, can't be done in the previous games because Beato said that there were only 17.
Maybe. We'll have to see if they
number
establish
after-
that,
yeah.
because the other answer is whoever's calling is somebody she knows and they're masking their voice.
Yeah, it could be.
But we can't be for certain until somebody says some things in red.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing peculiar about that. In the Ushumiya family, hallways are like public roads. There's no special meaning in locking the door when you enter your own room. This is what she told herself. Then, as though it had been waiting for her, the telephone rang. And she must have transferred the call. Took a deep breath, readied herself, and picked up the receiver.
Hello.
Again, it started with silence. She realized that the person at the other end was trying to keep her in suspense and make her feel uncomfortable, and she got angry.
Why are you silent? I'm hanging up. Azurjir.
Yeah,
Interesting.
again, why this song in particular, I wonder.
All right, don't click forward. There's some elements of the Golden Sneer in this,
Yeah. But it's...
but I'm not like an expert in music, so I'm not gonna be able to.
yeah,
find much
there's definitely
of that.
some elements in there, but it's very much Battler's color, or the color of the blue.
Yeah. Interesting. Maybe it's because it's supposed to be like the truth, the mundane truth specifically.
Yeah, it is the mundane thing that someone has done wrong.
Right. Gonna take a quick bathroom break because it has been 2 hours, so it is time. We will be back in a moment.
Yes, we will be back.
Don't go nowhere.
Yep.
Just a couple minutes.
Yes, we are back.
For some reason, the music and this guy's voice reminds me of Amakusa.
Huh, that's fair, actually.
I don't know why, and I noticed it last time, but I didn't say anything. So I thought I was just like imagining it. But now that I'm hearing it again, it's like, no, yeah.
Yeah, kind of makes you think of it. Don't hang up, Mother. Now, it's also doing that thing again where it's mapped to the wrong microphone. Give me a second. Won't mess up the recording, but just a PNG tuber. There we go.
You're okay, Ember. Lay down, you fucking monster. Stop yelling at me. I know I just got back. Calm down.
I want to hear your voice a little longer. Again, that unpleasant voice.
Are you trying to mock me? State your business. Shut up, Ember. This is dramatic. It's a moment of tension.
I want to play with you, Mother.
I don't like that phrasing. What are you talking about? I have no desire to play with you.
Now the question is, will our mystery caller reveal I have to be on this island. Try making a phone call off the island.
That would be hilarious. It's like, too bad, bitch. I'm already here.
You're tired from the family conference, right? I'll bet that chronic headache of yours is giving you a bad time. And this is revealing, oh, I know so much about you that regular people don't.
It's none of your business.
Just the fact that he knew her headache was troubling her made a shiver run up her spine. You get headaches because your head's all stiff. You won't have pleasant dreams if you go straight to bed like that.
Weren't I told you that's none of your business? I'm hanging up.
Natsuhi forcefully yelled that she was hanging up, but in actuality she couldn't. You had a desire to know more. After all, this person was choosing to call her, and that was much better than the alternative. If he hung up violently, this person might choose to call someone else. Let's play a bit to help you relax. Don't worry, I won't take up much of your time.
I have no intention of playing with you.
Your name is Natsuhi, Mother. It has the kanji for a season in it. Pretty nice name. However, just because your name's Natsuhi, that doesn't necessarily mean that you like summer. Which season is your real favorite, Mother?
Mine is fucking winter, so. Which is very on the nose for me.
A little bit. I'm actually a fan of spring.
Spring is nice, but it just doesn't hit like autumn or winter does.
That's true, like there's a lot more thematic stuff to do with autumn and winter. I just like it because it's warm.
Oh, I just mean like the feel of the air.
Yeah. That's fair.
It's like
If I had
each season has its own distinct feel to it, which I think is why it was, divided into that in the first place by early peoples.
Yeah. Which makes no sense when grafted onto somewhere like Australia.
No, absolutely not. It's just reverse for them, really, but
Not really. There's actually much more distinct seasons that have to do more with like what bugs come out and things like that. Because if you look, like the people who were originally there do have other seasons and periods of time that have nothing to do with R4.
It's kind of funny to me. Even in Europe, the number of seasons and what they're based on is like drastically different based on the culture. Like, for example, the Old Norse had 2 seasons. That was it. It was just summer and winter.
Fair enough, yeah. Given what I know about that region of the world.
I mean, like, it's not like they hadn't been to the Mediterranean, though. Like, there was the Varangian Guard, right? Like, they were all over the known world at the time, so...
Oh, yeah, no. But to go off what the actual atmosphere is like in their homeland, that makes a ton of sense.
We actually don't know much about their calendar because, like, we've only found a few calendar sticks and they're all fucking busted.
Yeah.
By the way, the Norse used sticks, not like wheels or maps or anything like that for their calendars.
Yep.
We use a square by like filled with squares maps now, and used to use wheels and shit like that. But they just use sticks.
But yeah,
I don't remember what they're called now, but
I prefer out of the seasons the transition seasons, so spring and autumn.
that's fair. I like late autumn and then like all of winter.
Because for me, winter's too cold. And
Oh,
also,
I love it.
and also there's ice, and I am very uncoordinated. I will slip on ice. Very often. Well,
Dude, I
not-
used to, like, when my legs don't work properly, I used to be able to fucking sprint across, like, frozen roads.
yeah.
It's like full tilt, just go. I
I also
Before
think
my legs went to shit, I could actually, like, I could count the number of times I had slipped on ice on one hand.
I think I also, part of it is I also associate it with yard work, both autumn and winter.
So, I lived in a forest for most of my life. There's no such thing as yard work in a forest because it doesn't matter. You can fucking
Yeah.
rake as much as you want. You can pick up as much as you want. It will be covered by the afternoon again.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You're not gonna have a fucking like a clean manicured lawn or anything like that in the forest. You're gonna have a field of leaves and sticks and like maybe if you're lucky some seeds,
Yeah. Yeah.
like some walnuts or something.
Yeah, in our
Fucking
case,
acorns.
there was a lot of cleanup of leaves, and there was, for a while, also shoveling the driveway. Eventually, we just ended up paying somebody to do that, because fuck that. Like,
Yeah, when we first moved to that place in Texas, like we still tried because we were used to living in the middle of town in a small town in Illinois. So like when we first got there for the first couple of years, like we were trying, and then eventually it was just like, okay, this is not gonna work.
yeah.
It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah. I think the best you could do in that situation is with the snow, and you'd need a lot of salt.
One of my clearest memories from the place in Illinois actually is me waddling out of the house in a snowsuit and then just like jumping into a snowdrift.
That's pretty
I was
good.
literally like 2.5 or 3 or some shit like that. 'Cause we moved when I was 4, so
But yeah, I prefer those transition seasons just because they've got a good temperature to them. For me. But I understand some people really fucking love the summer, and some people really fucking love the winter. And more power to them.
yeah, the place that I had in Texas for like the first, I don't know, like 16, 17 years of my life, I had an oak tree that was literally like 70 feet tall. It was one of those real fucking old oak trees.
Mm.
Just like fucking towering over my house all the time. I was always so worried whenever like a tornado would pass by or we get lead off from a hurricane that the fucking thing was gonna fall over and crush the house.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't even remember if you read that. I'm sorry.
You think I'll tell you? I probably did, but we'll do it again.
If you don't, I'll hang up. Are you sure you want that? It was clearly a threat. It meant that if she forced him to hang up the phone, anything might happen. Humiliated that she was forced to give in to a threat made by a man whose name she didn't even know. She gave him the answer he wanted.
It's autumn.
Yeah, that suits her, really. Why?
Because it's an easy season to pass the time in. Boo! There's no other reason in particular. I don't believe you. You satisfied now?
Yeah, I'm satisfied. Looks like your favorite season really is the same as mine. I like the fall too.
Liar, you just made that up.
Also that fucking laugh.
Yeah. I used to think that like a lot of the laughs in anime and JRPGs and all that shit were like unrealistic and not something that you'd hear in real life. Then I heard my fucking aunt laugh, and I was like, okay, I get it. Never mind.
Yeah, no. All laughs
This is a
exist
real
somewhere.
Fuck.
This man would no doubt have done the same thing no matter which season I said I liked. What is he after? What's so fun about making me uncomfortable like this? I mean, if he's right about who you are to him and what you did, the whole point is to torture you.
I honestly don't think that I would give a singular shit if I discovered, like, later in life that my mother or my father or something had abandoned me. Be like, okay.
Well,
I don't care.
I think it's more the she chucked me in the ocean or left me by the water.
Yeah, but, like, would you remember that as a baby?
I think you could get a phobia that way.
Yeah, like, I know you could probably, like, have long-term psychological effects to do with water or what have you due to that, but I wouldn't actually remember the source, right? I'd just be like, I don't like the ocean or whatever.
Yeah, like you wouldn't remember. You would have to be told later. Which also begs the question, who the fuck spilled the beans?
Yeah, like, I would definitely be like, okay, well, first off, fuck that bitch. Secondly, I don't really fucking care, though.
Yeah, but you're also somebody who doesn't give in to those strong emotions. And if this
So
person...
it's more like I just don't have them in the first place, but yeah.
Yeah. You just don't have them in the first place to give in to them.
When I do have strong emotions, like, I can't really resist them because I don't have a fucking resistance to them. I don't have any coping methods. They don't show up very often for me.
Yeah,
It's like once every couple of years, something will hit me really hard. And it's like, I don't know how to deal with this.
Yeah, absolutely. Poor phrasing on my part, but yeah. This person, especially if their life hadn't gone well, maybe they feel like the only satisfaction they can get out of life is making Natsuhi's life hard.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, I mean, not fair, but, like, understandable.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah, like, at least you can picture the motive here.
Yes. But I didn't mean to, like, say you had poor phrasing or anything like that. I just would like to expand on that because people get these things wrong with their writing. People like me a lot. The reason why people like me seem to, like, blow up occasionally and that we have no emotional coping skills is because we don't. We don't have to actually, like, deal with the emotions most of the time. We just don't have them. So when they do crop up, we just don't. Of course, we're still like children with them because we've only experienced them as many times as children have.
Yes, and also, in general, practice your breathing and exercises and things even when you don't feel anxiety. It'll make it easier when you do.
4 seconds in and out. 4 seconds for each. That's the basic. That'll work. That'll do you good. You may have to tweak it based on your own lung capacity and ability to remember things, but there you go. That's the basic one.
Yep.
Let's count to 4 on the intake and then count to 4 on the out.
It's not nice to call someone a liar. I didn't make it up. I was already certain you liked the fall mother.
She does seem to be like autumn themed, right?
Yeah, she really does. Like, you can feel
it's like
it.
a sort of like washed out green, orange kind of eye color and the brownish red hair.
Like, she's somebody who I could actually picture dressing like a very regal witch for Halloween. And pulling off the look.
In fact, that's like her outfit is the only thing she's missing for that kind of look is a fucking witch hat.
Yeah. Really, give her a
She
witch
needs
hat.
a Ronnie-sized witch hat.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Not quite as floppy though. It needs to have like a hard brim with an angled like tilt to it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it needs to tilt to her left, so like it balances out the how her hair sits in her ponytail. Since her hair comes over to her right, she needs like the the tilt of the hat to go to the left
Yeah, that makes sense.
and slightly forward, I would say. Yeah.
Yep, definitely agree there.
I am a witch hat connoisseur, okay? If you need a witch hat for any type of character, come to me. I will design the witch hats. I will tell you exactly what you need based on their personality and current design.
I can even show you proof.
証拠
Proof.
ああ、母さんの部屋に時計はあるかい？
Yeah, is there a clock in your room, Mother?
時計ええありますがそれが何か
Can you open up the dialogue thing and play that last line again? Not Natsuhi's, but his.
ああ、母さんの部屋に時計は
Okay, he's using a kasan.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering like which word for mother he's using. So it's hard to hear through the distortion of the phone call sometimes. Anyhow, a clock. Yes, there is, but what's your point?
Natsuhi's room, there was a beautiful antique clock with an intricate design. Rouse had bought it for her as a birthday present long ago.
今は0時7分ですね
Dude, I want a cool clock.
Me too.
It's 7 minutes past midnight right now.
眠いので茶番を早く終わらせなさい
I'm tired, so please get this farce over with quickly.
その時計持ち上げてみてよ。
Try
Oh,
lifting
no.
the clock up.
Oh no.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh,
です
why? You can't guess, Natsuhi?
You just don't know when to shut up.
俺の言うことにお前は歯向かうんじゃない。
Stop resisting every single time I say something.
黙って言われた通り。
Just shut up and do what I say. The tone of the man's voice suddenly went low, turning into a threat. It indicated clear displeasure. Outwardly, this man had a calm manner of speaking, but on the inside, things were completely different. If he angered this man even the slightest bit further, he would surely show his true nature right away.
こんなに電話を切られた。
Are you really that eager to make me hang up?
こうしてあんたに電話をしてるうちが花なんだ。
You'd better start realizing how lucky you are that I'm talking on the phone with you right now.
あんたが19年前にしたことを、俺はいつだってあんたの旦那や娘に話すことができる。
I can tell your husband and daughter what happened 19 years ago anytime I want to.
あなたが何の話をしているか知りませんが夫や娘を巻き込まないでください
I don't know what you're talking about. Please don't get my husband and daughter involved.
こうして私が電話を聞いていますから
I'm listening to everything you say.
言われた通りにしよう。
Then do what you're goddamn told. Once again, the man threatened me in a low voice, as though warning me never to talk back to him again. My head was filled with the pain from my headache, the sound of my beating heart, and the roar of the sea. I couldn't disobey him anymore. As the man had ordered, I lifted up the antique clock. There lay something that resembled a single playing card. Perhaps it was the warranty for the clock. No, you're not that
Of course
lucky.
not, Natsuhi. I know you're distracted and in pain. Please. Please, come on.
Thinking this, she took it and turned it over.
眠気。覚めたかい？
Are you wide awake now?
どうしてこんな
Why? Why is this?
あんたの頭痛が少しは引いたなら嬉しいんだ。
Well, I'll be happy if your headache's gone down a bit.
嬉しいって。
Tell me you're happy, Mother.
どうやってこれを
How did you?
どうしてど
Why?
うやって
How?
嬉しいですって言ってほしいな。この人殺しめ。
I want you to tell me you're happy, you murderer.
よくも潔癖な奥様面ができるもんだぜ、ヘドが。
How dare you act like a normal neat freak mother? You make me want to vomit. Do you want some of it to land on your husband and daughter as well? You don't, do you? You want me to keep quiet, don't you? Yeah, I'll keep quiet. See, aren't you happy? Aren't you happy?
I'm happy, I'm happy. So please stop. Don't burden my husband and daughter. What is it you want? Money? How much?
I don't want money. My wounds couldn't be healed with any amount of money.
Could buy some pretty good therapy, though.
But there is a medicine. Yes. It's like kind of ointment. Thick, syrupy, and dribbling. Captioner went ahead and said therapy and dribbling. And that is my hatred, my resentment towards you. Slathering myself with that is the only way to hold back the pain.
It's just fucking weird, man.
Therapy and dribbling is my favorite psychological basketball drama. That's pretty good.
I've seen weirder premises for like web novels and shit, so you know what? Go for it.
Yeah. Nazi had never had anything so hateful said to her in her entire life.
That's pathetic.
So she suspected many times that
worse shit as a
she
joke.
must be having some sort of bad dream. Yeah, then again, we are kind of 90s humor, 90s, early 2000s humor with that.
Yeah. And also I hang out with Trig, so.
Yeah. Plus, also, we know we're fucking joking. However, this definitely wasn't a dream. Oh,
You
the
couldn't
penny hustle.
possibly be on this island right now, could you? Oh, definitely. Man is definitely on the island.
I am. Didn't I promise you? I said I'd be at the family conference.
Did you really think that he could have bribed one of the one-winged eagle servants to go into your room and put that there or something? Come on. That's impossible. There's no way you could have come during this typhoon.
That's no problem if I came before the typhoon reached here.
Yeah, this definitely didn't happen in the other ones.
And I'm pretty sure this guest called...
Sorry. Almost fucking read it out.
And I'm pretty sure this guest called Erica or whatever arrived even during the typhoon. Her blood froze. Rudo Erica had been brought here by coincidence. He knew that name. He would have to be very close by.
Where are you?
I won't appear in front of anyone until you introduce me. Don't worry. Oh yeah, it's useless to try and search for me. Your mansion is huge. Oh yeah, the drama here is absolutely gripping.
I wanted to focus on this. This and Battler's Sin. That's all I give a shit about right now.
Yeah, it's this and how things pan out with the actual witch Beatrice. And you have phones all over the place. Yeah, Kinzo could afford to put a phone in literally every room if he really wanted to. So it's probably at least in every bedroom.
To be honest, like when I was younger, that wouldn't have been like a very big stretch, even for like a low income family, just like slowly over time to put a landline in every room.
Yeah,
A phone in the gold chamber? Maybe.
that is
I
a
don't
good
remember
question.
the art that was there, but I could definitely see one there.
Yeah, I could picture it. I mean, at the very least, you could go, hey, the mechanism locked me in. Lil help. Genji.
Jay, help!
I'm just imagining that now. Somebody just fucking gets locked down there and has to call Genji like, Genji, help.
Help! Help me! Please!
あんただって俺に会いたくないだろ。
And besides, I'm sure you don't want to see me either, do you?
それとも俺を見つけ出してみんなに紹介してくれるのか。
Or are you offering to find me and introduce me to everyone?
ジェシカにも紹介してくれよ。
Introduce me to Jessica too.
一つ兄です。的な。
Tell her I'm her older brother by 1 year.
It's almost a Battler laugh.
Yeah, like it is very.
But we know what he's doing right now, so
Yeah, we know
it's
what.
not him.
Yeah, we know what Battler's doing, and we know what actually is going on with his parentage shit.
Mm-hmm. Although he still hasn't fucking figured that out for some reason.
Yeah, he hasn't figured that out for whatever reason, but
Like as soon as she questioned, as soon as Beto questioned whether like that was actually his mother or not, like it all clicked into place for me. It was like, oh yeah, I understand literally all of it now. All right, let's go.
yeah, absolutely.
Please, Battler.
But, you know, that just makes it more believable that this is a man related to Battler somehow or something. I don't know. Well, probably not related to Battler, considering she's trying
It
to hide
would be
it.
interesting if Battler knew this guy.
Yeah, that
Like they
would
went
be.
to school together or something like that, and that's how he found out some things that he needed to know for this.
That would be a good possibility. Somebody that hung around him, maybe even met Jessica, and just, you know.
Well, he hasn't. Battler hasn't seen Jessica in 6 years, so
Yeah, but, you know, met Jessica when they were younger or something, or knew what school she was going to because of Battler. Because, of course, Battler knows, oh yeah, she goes to the school right by the port there. Because they've at least had correspondence or something. Plus, you know, what other school would she fucking go to and be able to get there and back?
One second. This is a new kind of tea, so I gotta check how long I have to steep it. Let's see, what does it fucking say? This is a doesn't. No, it's an herbal tea. So fruit tea, 5 to 7 minutes. All right.
Okie doke.
It's a little bit longer than I'm used to. All right. Stop it. Stay away from Jessica.
怖がらせすぎたかな。
I guess I've scared you a bit too much.
今夜はこれで勘弁してやるよ。
Okay, here's your tea brewing tip for the day, everyone. If you are brewing black tea, do not steep it for any longer than 4 minutes. That's how you get a very bitter, gross tea. The tannins in the bark of the tea start seeping into the drink after that, which you don't want that. That's the stuff that you use to tan leather, alright? You don't want the tannins in there.
So that does bring the question, who the fuck is talking to her right now?
Yeah.
Because I kind of had to think about it. The only young people are Shannon and Cannon, and Shannon and Cannon are down there talking to Rudolph and them, unless they left
Yeah,
at this
Shannon,
point.
Cannon, and Battler are the only possible 3 people that would be in this age range. Battler's obviously not the one doing it because no, because the game master and all them, like, they don't actually like directly control their pieces, right?
Yeah.
They just nudge them. So, like, Bert Costello is definitely not like the one behind this. Well, she might be, but not
Not in
like
that
this.
way.
And then, of course, Shannon and Cannon are both in the same room as Battler right now, and obviously not on the phone.
Yeah. It would have to be, if it's somebody we know, it would have to be Goda, Genji, or Kumasawa.
George?
George?
I don't think George would do it, but like he's in the age range, and you know.
Yeah, because George is still off in the guest house.
Yeah. He's the only one that we don't know for like where he is exactly.
Yeah, because he's just at the guest house, presumably, and sleeping things through. So yeah, it's not Jessica.
Yeah, it's midnight, it's late.
Yeah. So, really, it would have to be Goda, Genji, Kumasawa, or George, if it's somebody we know. The only other possibility is it's... Well, no, it can't, because he's been reacting to her this whole time, so it can't be a pre-recorded thing.
Mm-hmm. And Umineko, outside of the magic, does seem to be relatively realistic with the technology.
Yeah, mostly...
So I don't think a voice changer is actually possible here.
Yeah, mostly...
You wouldn't be able to tell if it was a 1980s voice changer. As we had them, they were just really fucking bad.
Yeah, though...
I mean, they're still not great today, but at least they're much better than they were.
Yeah, though people's voice ranges in general can be really good.
Oh yeah, like he could be a voice actor.
Yeah.
Or have at least some vocal training.
Yeah, so it could be, for instance, Kumasawa messing with her voice to sound like a young man. Just, articulations of the throat, not technology.
Maybe.
Because, just a reminder, Ash Ketchum, voiced by a woman. Granted, his voice
yeah, but
is
that's
very
also
squeaky.
normal because, like, he's 10.
Yeah.
His voice hasn't deepened yet. So.
Yeah, that's true enough. But you can hold your voice in that range, depending, even as somebody who is AFAB and and hasn't gone through any testosterone treatments. I don't know. But yeah, that's all from me for tonight. But don't forget, you cannot disobey me. Understand, Mother?
Right, Mosquito, get out here. Yes.
I'm going to hang up for tonight, but I have an order to be followed up until tomorrow morning.
What is that?
You may no longer leave that room tonight, and you may not make any phone calls.
Interesting. So if she actually does follow this order, she cannot be the killer, even if Erica accuses her of it later.
Yes, but she absolutely looks like a killer because she has no alibis.
Mm-hmm.
If the phone rings, you aren't allowed to pick it up either. And you will turn the lights off right now, get in bed, and sleep. Then you will wake up at your ordinary time.
This dude is setting her up so hard.
Absolutely. Sure is nice to live a healthy life.
母さんの体をいたわるなんて本当に俺は親孝行者だよ。
I really
Yeah,
am
because
such
she
a
can't
good
even
son.
tell them what happened and why she stayed in her room and didn't answer the phone and didn't tell anyone without revealing the fucking phone call and that she was being blackmailed, which
Working
would necessitate like revealing the blackmail.
Yep, that's the thing with blackmail is, well, it's used against you because you don't want it revealed. I really am such a good son, working so hard for the sake of my mother's body.
わかりました。今すぐ寝ます。
I understand. We'll sleep right now.
部屋も出ません。電話も出ません。
I won't leave my room and I won't pick up the phone.
夫と娘には。
So please don't tell my husband and daughter.
Yeah, she knows what she did.
母さんが俺の命令を守る限り、あんたの秘密は守ってやるよ。
As long as you follow my orders, I'll keep your secret, Mother.
命令を破るなよ。
Don't disobey me.
俺はもうお前のすぐ近くに。
I'm already very close
部
by.
屋の明かりが消えるかどうか、そして電話をしているかどうかさえ。
I can easily tell whether you've turned your lights off and whether you're on the phone.
俺さえ望むなら、あんたの願を
Oof.
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 If I wished to, I could even kiss your sleeping face.
守ります。約束は守り
I'll
ます。
keep it. I'll keep my promise.
やめて。もうやめて。
Just stop it. Just stop it.
As she
It won't
screamed,
be. Stop
Natsuhi crushed the card she found under the clock into a little ball. It had a pattern on it like a tarot card, along with one single word, autumn.
Well, what was the fucking pattern then, nerd?
Yeah, it would have been nice to know what the pattern was, but hopefully we'll see it later. We go back in time once again. The large clock in the hall was right in the middle of striking midnight. Wondering who the person who had now knocked twice was, the relatives in the dining hall stared at the door. Rudolph told them to come in. There was no answer. Until the end of that long tone marking the coming of midnight, which had come from the large clock in the hall shortly after the knock. They were unable to move in the slightest.
手が塞がってて開けられないんじゃないのか。
Maybe their hands are full and they can't open it.
かもな。だが、名乗らねえってのが薄気味悪いな。
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's like, but then they should like shout and say what the fuck is going on.
Maybe, but it's a little creepy that they won't say their name.
開けますか。
Should I open it?
開けなさい。
Do it. Cannon nodded back, then slowly opened the door. Yeah, so we are establishing they were still in the room. What's that?
これは
Oh, wish letter.
封筒
It's one of Dad's envelopes? Right behind the open door on the floor of the hallway, lay the envelope.
Yay, wish
誰
letter.
もいません。
There's no one in the hallway.
これを置いて立ち去ったのでしょうか。
Perhaps they placed this here and left.
The adults flew out into the corridor as well, but they could find no trace of anyone who might have knocked on the door.
Oh, that looks good. Oh, that smells good. This tea. Let's see.
Barely
Need
an
some tweaking. It's
barely
the
an
first time I've made this tea, so I don't know how much sugar I use.
Yeah, fair. Barely an hour ago, Shannon and Cannon had come in to serve tea. That time,
Luckily, I got the milk right on the first try.
everyone had seen that nothing lay in that spot. Someone came, knocked, left an envelope with the mark of the one-winged eagle on it, and left.
親方様でしょうか。
Let's try half a teaspoon first.
Could it have been the master?
考えられない話じゃないわ。この屋敷で誰と呼ばれて返事をしないのはお父様くらいだもの。
It's not unthinkable. Father's pretty much the only person in this mansion who would refuse to answer when asked who he was.
ありえないわ。 ならどうしてお父様は堂々と入ってこないの？
That's not possible. If that's so, then why didn't father come in here openly?
そうやな。お父さんだったらノックなどせずいきなり入ってくるやろな。
That's right.
Yeah, Kinzo is not the kind to knock. He just kicks in the door.
Yeah, father would probably have come in here all of a sudden without knocking. Let alone leaving a letter. Really.
今この屋敷は戸締まりがされとるんやろ。
Doors and windows of this mansion are locked now,
だ
right?
からここに手紙を置くことができるのはクラウスさんか夏日さん、そして源氏さんの誰かしか考えられんで。
In that case, the only people who could have left a letter there are Kraus, Natsuhi, and Genji. Yeah, Kinzo just blasts the doors down and comes in throwing lightning bolts at people.
Damn right.
By this point, the mansion had been completely locked up. Therefore, those in the guest house...
Just Emperor Palpatine style, just...
The cousins, Nanjo, Goda, Kumasawa, and Erika could not have come here. Furthermore, since Kraus, Natsuhi, and Genji were the only three who weren't in this room, one of those three had to have been the one who set that letter down in the corridor. That doesn't feel like a Genji move, though. In that case, it was very likely that Kraus and the others had placed the letter there to make it seem like a message from Kinzo.
なるほどね。お父様の名を語ってバトラ君を次期当主に認めないみたいなことが書いてあるのよ。
I see. It'll have something written on it which is supposedly in father's name saying that he won't accept the battler as the next head or something of the sort.
I'm gonna bet it says the exact opposite.
It either says the exact opposite or has nothing to do with the situation.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Either has absolutely nothing to do with the riddle, or it says, "Hey, nope, he's the new head."
Ridiculous. I can't believe you tried to pull such a childish trick, Kraus.
別に俺は次期当主なんて興味ねえぜ。
Not like I have any interest in being the next head.
諦めろ。それがお前の運命なんだよ。
Give up. This is your fate. This is just your
とに
fate.
かく中身を読んでみようじゃねえか。
Anyway, why don't we read what's inside?
Well, he can will it to someone else.
That's true. Rudolph set the letter on the dining table and showed everyone in the front and back, almost like a magician does before performing his act to show that there are no tricks or hidden mechanisms.
この封筒は間違いなくお父様の封筒なの？
This envelope is, without a doubt, father's?
ええ、間違いないわ。
Yes, there's no doubt.
お父様が信書に好んで使う封筒よ。
Father liked to use these envelopes for handwritten letters.
シャノンちゃん。
What do you think, Shannon?
はい、私の目にも親方様が使われる封筒に見えます。
Yes, to my eyes as well, it looks like the type of envelope that the master uses.
だからってお父様が書いたってことにはならないわよ。
Yes, Ava, we know. That doesn't mean father was the one who wrote it.
兄さんならお父様の書斎の引き出しからひょいと手に入れることなんて造作もない話だわ。
It would be pitifully easy for Kraus to snatch one of these from a drawer in father's study.
クラウス様とて容易に書斎には入れません。
Even Lord Kraus cannot easily enter the study.
封筒を盗み出すのは難しいことだ。
It might be hard for him to steal an envelope.
開けてみようぜ。それから考えても遅くないはずだ。
Let's try opening it. We can talk about this later.
何か入っ
There's something in it.
た。なんだ。
Wonder what?
It's the fucking head's ring.
Rudolph opened the envelope a bit roughly, then a folded letter, and a glittering object fell out. It's either a key or the ring.
Mm-hmm.
It was a ring.
Hey, I'm so smart.
Yep. Oh boy. Yeah, I think we're gonna get that battler that we've been talking about.
ちょっとその指輪。
Huh? Wait a second. That ring is... Ava noticed it immediately and grabbed it.
これお父様の指輪よ。
This is father's ring.
当主の指輪だわ。
It's the head's ring.
なんやて？ほんまか？
What the? Seriously?
間違いなく お父様の指輪なの？
Are you sure it's father's ring?
レプリカということね。
Could it be a replica? I presume that it's intricate enough that it's gonna be hard to replicate it. Not
Yeah, I
impossible.
mean, that's the whole point of like rings like that. That they're hard to replicate.
Oh, this is the real thing.
私はいつかこの指輪を自分の指に通してやるとずっと夢見てきたの。
Like all of the kids have, I'm sure.
Yeah, at some point in their lives, for sure. I've always dreamed about wearing this ring on my finger someday.
お父様が指にしてた時から私は誰よりもこの指輪のことをよく知ってるわ。
Even though father wore this on his finger, I know more about it than anyone
こ
else.
れはお父様の指輪よ、間違いなく。
This is father's ring, no doubt about it. And this also means whoever actually wrote that letter is about to convince at least Ava, if not everybody in that room, of everything that is written.
Mm-hmm.
どうしてここに？
Why is it here?
じゃあやっぱりこの手紙はお父様だ。
And it really was father who wrote this letter?
こりゃ差出人は親父じゃねえぞ。
The sender isn't dad.
もっと面白い。
It's someone much more interesting? The witch?
Okay, so
じゃあ誰からの手紙だってんだ？
Then who is the letter from?
後ろ宮家顧問錬金術
Yep.
yep. Which letter?
It's from the Ushuomiya family alchemist.
黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェ様からだぜ。
The Golden Witch, Lady Beatrice. Rodolph showed everyone the part of the letter where that was written. It really did say that.
ベアトリーチェから？
It's from Beatrice.
なんて書いてある？
What's it say?
読むぞ。
I'll read it.
Congratulations。
Congratulations.
バトラ様が碑文の謎を見事に解かれ、黄金鏡にたどり着きましたことを認めます。
I acknowledge that Lord Battler has spectacularly solved the riddle of the epitaph and reached Golden
黄
Land.
金はすべてバトラ様のものです。
The gold belongs to him in its
そ
entirety.
して後ろ宮家の新しき当主もバトラ様です。
Furthermore, he is also the new head of the Ushuomiya
そ
family.
の証として金蔵様よりお預かりしている当主の指輪をお送りします。
As proof, I send the head's ring, which Lord Kinzo left in my
どう
charge.
ぞバトラ様、指輪をされて新しい黄金の主となり、どうか後ろ宮家をお導きください。
Lord Battler, I beg that you put on this ring, become the new master of the gold, and lead the Ushuomiya family into the future. And this is where Battler outright refuses and eventually takes on the magic or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
新しき当主のご活躍を心よりお祈りいたしております。
I pray with utmost sincerity that you flourish as the new head.
なんてこった。
What the hell?
親父が書斎から出てこねえもんだから、森の魔女ベアトリーチが直接バトラを認めてくれたわけだ。
I see. Dad just won't come out of his study, so Beatrice, the Witch of the Forest, has acknowledged Battler directly.
It would be really funny if Beato was writing all these letters in completely in English.
That would be kind of great.
Just to fuck with these guys.
Yeah.
I'd do that shit.
バトラ君、この指輪は
Make them go to the damn library to like find a Japanese to English dictionary.
Yeah. Battler, you should hold on to this ring. Granted, most of these people would be failing at what they're doing if they didn't know English.
Yeah, at least Rudolph would be, because I know he has a business in the States specifically.
Yeah, he has a business in the States specifically.
That's why he's in debt right now, actually.
Yeah, Ava is a world traveler. Basically, she should know both Chinese and either English or German.
Yeah, and Hideyoshi definitely knows English as well, because like he interacted with American soldiers a lot when he was first getting started.
Yeah, exactly.
As he was literally just talking about.
当主が身につけるべき
This is
特別な指輪。
this is a special ring to be worn by the family head.
ベアトリーチェが何者か知らないけれど、
Don't know who this Beatrice is.
彼女は一部始終を見届け、あなたが真の跡継ぎだと認めて、この指輪を贈ったのよ。
But she's watched the whole thing and sent you this ring after acknowledging you as the true successor. If nothing else, you need somebody to hold on to that thing so it doesn't get lost.
Yeah, that's kind of important.
いいんすかこんな重要な指輪を。
I mean, it's fucking yours now, kid.
Yeah. Is that alright? It's such an important thing. Or important ring, rather. Yeah. And he's probably getting some weird-ass vibes from, you know, his meta self. Like, fuck, this never happened before.
Is this after his meta self came back or not? I don't know.
It is not. Because when Battler sat back down at the table, that was when...
yeah. There was already the accusation scene. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it was the accusation scene. Though, of course, Battler would get the fucking ring when he's being played by the DM's girlfriend.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's fine. You should wear it proudly on your finger.
Assuming one of his fingers fits in it.
Probably, because he is a beef of a lad.
It's true, yeah. Do we, does he have like a cannon height? Because I'm pretty sure he's like 5'11" or some shit like that, right?
Yeah, like I think they mentioned his height at one point.
It's like, especially for the time, he was a fucking giant. Average, Japanese heights.
Yeah, 180 centimeters. So, yeah, like you said, close to 5'11".
180?
Yep. Or he is just over 180 centimeters.
Just over, okay. So that's probably 71 inches. So yeah, 5'11".
And is actually 10 centimeters taller than George.
Damn, George is short. He's close to my height. Okay, yeah, Battler is about 10 centimeters taller than average in Japan for the time. Man's like half a head taller than everyone around him. And he's only 18 too. He could still grow some, which is fucked up.
Yep. Maybe those fucking weird drugs he mentioned in the first episode are real.
Fucking baby. God damn. The small bombs are fueling his growth.
Anyway, wear it proudly on your finger. Got it? Even if Kraus and Nazi tell you to take it off, you better not do it no matter what. Yeah. Honestly,
do not lose this. Do not take it off. Do not let it get stolen.
Yeah, honestly, probably for the best. Especially because I'm certain that ring's going to open something else.
Yeah, there's going to be some interaction with that somewhere.
Who knows? There might even be a fucking magnet on the ring to open the door or something.
Yeah.
Because you could.
While I'm thinking about it, this is your semi-regular reminder to use your Twitch Prime subs on someone, not necessarily me. Just like fucking find yourself someone and use it on them.
Yes.
Free money for the streamer.
Yes.
You already paid for it, but you know it's incidental to whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
Use it somewhere because you already paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
I've
been forgetting to like remind people of that for a while now, actually.
Yeah, it very much helps the streamer. Though I will also say, if you can, donate to somebody's coffee. If you're going to donate to them at all. Or Ko-Fi.
I don't care if they say that like it's coffee or whatever. It's Ko-Fi. Like, the way that like there's a hyphen in it and everything. No, that's Ko-Fi.
Yeah.
Fuck you. You can't give the same naming convention as like lo-fi or hi-fi and then say it's coffee. Fuck you. No, that's Ko-Fi.
Yeah, but whatever you call it, donate to that because they get a better cut.
Yes. Or buy fucking bits and do that because like the amount of bits you buy is the exact number of cents that like the thing that you give them to is. It's like, yeah, Wi-Fi not being short for anything is weird.
Yeah, that definitely messes with the slime brain.
Yeah. But like if you buy like 500 bits or whatever and then you give 500 bits to a streamer, they get $5. I know you're paying like $7 or whatever it is, but like the amount you give is what we get.
Yep.
I would actually much rather have bits than subscriptions because of that.
Yes.
Of course, subscriptions also open up stuff like emote slots and bits don't, but I don't give a shit.
Yes. I would say that Ko-Fi is better in that regard because a lot of your favorite streamers will offer benefits through Ko-Fi.
I don't, but that's because I'm a lazy cunt, so.
Well, that and you tend to like do things like make emotes rather than other things because those are things you can do.
Yeah. It's also that like I don't like pay gate anything, and I do not plan to ever.
Yeah.
There will never be any content that from me that you have to pay for. Unless like someone else is involved. In that case, like yes, there will be like pay things. Like for example, I'm not going to give another World RPG out for free, but that's because like Trig and Nate also work on it with me, so
yeah,
they need to be paid for their time.
Absolutely.
But like all of my comics, all of my books, everything, it's always going to be for free. You might be able to buy like a physical edition or something at some point, but that's it. That's all that is. You'll get the actual content for free no matter what. I don't believe in that shit.
With creepy
Art is free
smiles
and
on
for
their
the people.
faces, all of the relatives urge Battler to put the ring on his finger.
Watch this shit be an actual fucking magical artifact and goddamn like the sizes to his finger.
That would be kind of great. Fucking the one we
Like he jokingly puts it on his pinky or something like that, and it just shrinks down. It's like, what the fuck, man?
the one winged eagle emblem falls off and it turns out to be a lantern ring in disguise.
I don't think he would be very good as a lantern, honestly. He's got shit for willpower.
Yeah, willpower not really. He's got enough creativity to use do some shit with, but that's about it.
Yeah, I don't think he'd be able to will it into existence, though, is the problem.
It's kind of the thing where he's either hot or he's cold with his will.
Yeah, and it's too easy to sway him back and forth on the temperature.
It looked like things would get pretty nasty if you refused, so Battler reluctantly decided to put it on the middle ring, on the middle finger of his left hand. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, exactly, Quinn.
Yeah, Battler's smart. Kind of. But he's weak
When it doesn't involve him personally, he's smart.
Yeah, but he's weak to emotional attacks and bad under pressure. Yeah, that definitely sums him up. Like, he's quick-witted and can say some shit, but he does not think well under pressure, as the whole, your mother isn't, your birth mother isn't who you think it is. Exemplified.
Which doesn't matter for, like, being worthy of being the thing, because, like, it's not like his mother was his line to
Kinzo anyway.
That would be Rudolph.
But he stopped
as long
thinking.
as his father is still the same.
But he stopped thinking because he went, oh, the person I thought was my mother and who I loved as my mother was not my birth mother.
Yeah, exactly, Quinn. A lot of his smartest moments are during a scene where everyone was ignoring him and he suddenly speaks of it right at the end. Yeah, it's like where he's like taking it slow, actually thinking things through, and he's not got the spotlight on him.
Yeah. The ring was heavy and stiff. At that moment, Kraus returned. Oh, buddy, you're about to be introduced to some bad news.
Also, signet rings go on the index finger, not the middle finger. Just saying.
Yeah, but that might exemplify Battler going, nah, I don't want this. Genji came back as well immediately afterwards. My apologies.
And for anyone wondering, the reasoning for that is so it's easier to like press into the thing, into like a wax seal. That's what signet rings are for.
Yep. Looks like my wife isn't feeling so well, so she's gone to bed early. Did something happen? Oh gosh, though, if Genji acts... Because I think Genji might still side with these two, but I don't know. With the ring present, he might actually just go Lord Battler.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
You all seem incredibly flustered.
Oh, I wonder why. Lord Battler, that...
Yeah, Genji picked up on it so immediately.
I'm interested that he is surprised at this.
Yeah, I mean... at the very least, he was talking to Kraus at the time that the ring would have been placed there.
Mm-hmm. I'm just wondering, like... Yeah, well, they didn't even tell Genji that he'd solved the riddle, did they?
No, they told Genji.
Okay, then I don't know why he's surprised. Like, of course Beato sent him the ring. In that case. Maybe he didn't expect it to be, like, right now? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he expected it later. Or maybe he didn't expect Beato to do it, necessarily, considering her earlier stance of we have to stand behind. We have to actually stand behind Natsuhi.
Could be, I don't know.
I am so sorry, Natsuhi. You're just... Captioner isn't going to do it unless I enunciate your name really unnaturally.
Yeah. But, I mean, what are we going to do? It's an English captioner, so...
Yep.
Doesn't even get the fucking English right half the time.
Your eyesight's pretty good, Genji. Looks like you know whose ring this is. What are you talking about? From Kraus's questioning look, it was very difficult to imagine that he could have been the one who set that letter there. And it would not benefit him in the slightest.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to peg it on whoever is on the other side of that phone call.
Could be, yeah. Fucking thief that shit right off the body.
Yep. Because it would also have to be somebody who honestly had to have been in the room when Natsuhi closed it to have gotten the keys. Or there has to be another way into that room, but I think we established there isn't a secret door. Anyway, furthermore, his expression quickly changed into one of shock. Yeah, Ava's gonna yuck it up because this is the closest she's ever gonna get to wearing that ring. In this timeline. That's right, it's the ring of the Ushiromiya family head. Family conference took up this new topic, and the storm came once again. Yeah, like, this is definitely a point in their favor about Battler.
Yep.
The rain was still pouring down as hard as ever. This weather was supposed to continue all day tomorrow as well, which was making me feel a little bit depressed. Oh wait, given the time, that's today, not tomorrow.
The struggles of being awake after midnight.
Yeah.
I know them well.
It is not tomorrow until I go to sleep.
Yeah, it's not tomorrow until I wake up. Fuck you. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's not tomorrow until I go to sleep and wake up again. I'm sleepy. With half-asleep eyes, I opened my umbrella. Large drops of rain poured against it mercilessly. Technically, they had called an end to the family conference at 1 a.m., but the post-match scuffles were still dragging on. I was really jealous of Auntie Rosa, who managed to slip out of there at that time. She cleverly got away by saying that she'd check on Maria, who might have been staying up too late. Yeah,
Yeah, honestly. Understandable. It's Maria.
yeah, it is Maria. Honestly, like, she could have just gotten access to all of the tea.
Yeah, she could have, like, somehow gotten access to, like, the cake stash and is just eating it by hand.
Yeah, really. Granted, she deserves it, and Rosa can fuck off, but also, yes. Thanks to Dad constantly involving me, I missed my chance to escape. And they made me stick around until now, 3 a.m. What on earth did they spend all that time deciding? Nothing got decided
if
at
I was
all.
Battler right there as the new head, I'd just be like, all right, fuck you all, go to sleep, we'll do this tomorrow. I'm tired, which means none of you can actually talk about this without me here. Go the fuck to sleep.
Yeah, though it does mean that Genji didn't immediately bow to Battler. Because I think that would actually shift a lot of people's attentions.
Yeah.
Because of how much weight they put on Genji, considering he was one of their primary carers growing up. And spoke for their dad a lot. And usually it was better to talk to Genji than Kinzo. They just kept on arguing about who said what like elementary school kids. They must be tired too. Sure, that's why they keep dragging on with the same pointless questions. I no longer felt any shock or anger towards them. I guess no painkiller works better than drowsiness.
Not fucking true.
Yeah.
Believe me, I know.
Yeah, you can just be tired and also in pain.
Hell, in fact, often the pain will make you tired. It sucks.
Yep. That's why a lot of people with chronic conditions, even if it has nothing to do with the neurology of having to be sleepy, will just be tired because it's exhausting dealing with any disability, especially chronic, especially something that goes on throughout the entire day, or through large spans of the day.
Speaking of, this one will be one of the shorter 4-hour ones because of that. Just so everyone is warned right now.
Yep.
Should have done that at the beginning, but...
But if you're watching the VOD, you already see it's 4 hours long or so.
Indeed.
I left them behind and finally returned to the guest house. When I returned to the guest house, the lights were on in the lounge downstairs. Not only that, I could even hear people chatting inside. Apparently some people were still awake even at this time of night.
For people wondering, I'm fine. It's just that I had to, like, my washer's busted, so I had to get all the fucking laundry out, which was a bunch of blankets. It was like fucking 40, 50 pounds of, like, waterlogged fabric that I had to, like, drag outside. Well, not drag, literally, because then I just have to wash it again. And then, like, wring it out by hand. And I was doing that for, like, 40 minutes. And it fucking sucked.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like also trying to fucking dodge the pecan tree leaves that were just, like, sticking out, because, like, obviously with my legs like this, I can't exactly do, like, yard keeping. And even if I could, I can't work in the backyard because it's fucking pecan trees and I'm allergic to those.
Yeah.
You literally have to, like, have a full bodysuit for that shit. And a mask, everything. Which is what I did when I first got here, but my legs have since taken a much worse turn, so I can't do that anymore. thankfully, one of my neighbors, I don't know who, because I've never actually fucking caught them doing it, so I haven't been able to like profusely thank them. But one of my neighbors occasionally comes over and fucking like mows the front yard for us. And I'm like, let me know who you are so I can buy you a 6-pack or something, please.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah.
Because like I'm sure that like my neighbors know that I'm fucking not able to do this shit because like anytime I'm outside I'm like dragging my legs, sitting down on the fucking pavement after just like getting the damn mail and be like, fuck.
Yeah, absolutely. Which it's definitely one of the many reasons I am glad you've got that medical coverage now.
Yeah. I'm still gonna call them and like get everything properly set up, but I haven't had time to yet.
Yep. But they'll get
you know, it's a fucking state thing, so you know, like it's only open for a certain number of hours in the middle of the day, and I'm asleep for most of those. So
yeah, but definitely get it set up. A lot of times they'll also provide transportation.
Yeah, hopefully. I need to look through the booklet that I have a little more accurately to see if there is actually coverage for transportation.
Yeah.
I know that there's not like the one thing that I have seen that I'm interested in but isn't covered is dental implants.
Yeah.
So that's not covered, but like dental care is, just not the implants. So
yeah, unfortunately,
if I do get dental care through this, it will be fucking dentures, which sucks ass.
Yeah, that's what I had to settle for.
So just fucking drill into my jaw and give me some titanium teeth.
Yeah, seriously. But nope, not something they're offering. But hopefully that medical thing that can get you to grow new teeth becomes a thing in the next 3 to 5 years.
That would be nice. But most likely I will not be in New Mexico by then.
Yeah, fair enough. But
because if I'm not, I will probably explode. Literally, just like pop like an overfilled balloon.
Possibly.
It'll be real nasty. There'll be some bad cleanup.
But at least you'll have a lot more of the documents you need to get medical coverage elsewhere.
Yes, that's what I'm hoping. So I can at least have a diagnosis and get started on all that shit.
Yeah, exactly. You'll have a lot more medical records. You'll have, things like your birth certificate or other things, so you have forms of ID, so it doesn't take forever to do this stuff again.
I've got it folded over on a shelf somewhere.
Yeah. So
I've got all the stuff. It's just
getting it to you.
I also have like an old vac sheet that I have somewhere, and I don't know how to read it because so on your vaccination sheets, they don't actually write out the name of the fucking vaccine or what it's the vaccine for. They just like put a fucking abbreviation on it. And I'm like, what is this? Is this human papillomavirus or is this fucking some other shit? I don't know.
Yeah.
Am I vaccinated for that or am I not? Who knows? I certainly fucking don't. It's annoying. It's really annoying.
But yes, Goda, Dr. Nanjo were still awake and chatting. Plates and cups were lined up on the counter, and it looked almost like a bar with Goda as the bartender. Yeah, he really is one. After noticing I'd come back, it looked as though Dr.
Even
Nanjo
fucking dresses like Roosevelt.
He does kinda, yeah.
But that's just because that was the style, right? Like the waistcoat and tie.
Yeah, the waistcoat and tie was just kind of the thing. You wouldn't you wouldn't know just by looking at him that Teddy Roosevelt was a guy who, as a cop, as a chief of police, I think even, he would just pretend to be a civilian. Find his officers doing shady shit, beat the shit out of them and fire them.
Good on him. He also did some fucked up shit, but that part's good.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things you can take the good lessons from somebody and still acknowledge they did some awful shit.
A cab includes Roosevelt.
Yes, A cab includes Roosevelt. Granted, I do wish the Bull Moose party had actually gone somewhere. I would have very much enjoyed the Bull Moose party. I would think.
I don't remember enough to say if I would or not.
Well, Teddy Roosevelt was an environmentalist, so that was on there.
Oh, cool. Hell yeah.
After noticing I'd come back, it looked as though Dr. Nanjo finally realized how late it was. As Goda made to top off his glass, he declined with an exaggerated gesture. No, that's enough, that's enough. It's already too late to be up. Yeah, you guys are up at 3 a.m. drinking. Though I don't
You're
blame
also,
you.
like, not young anymore either. Especially fucking Nancho over there.
Yeah, Genji's...
Dude.
Genji would be fine.
Yeah, like, he's probably in his early 40s, I'd say.
Yeah, not to mention
Judging
that
by his
Battler calls him a fucking giant.
Yeah, but, like, fucking Nanjo over here is, like, roughly Kinzo's age.
Yeah, roughly Kinzo's age.
Just, his insides just aren't pickled from absinthe, so. That's the difference here. Would you even need to embalm Kinzo? Like, dude drank way too much absinthe. Like, half his organs are probably already, like, pre-preserved.
Yeah, you would think so, huh? Oh, no wonder he goes up like a fucking fireball.
Mm-hmm.
Look how late it's gotten.
Yeah,
You
that is the one unrealistic thing that I've seen, like, in the situations here for all of this so far, is it takes days to burn a body like that.
It
Literal
really
days. Like, to make a body completely unrecognizable, it takes days.
Yeah.
And even then, like, the bones are still going to remain, for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Which, I mean,
You have to grind those fucking things up. Like, the crematoriums don't tell you that, but you have to grind the bones up.
Yeah.
When you get ashes back, you're not actually getting ashes, you're getting bone dust.
Yep.
Burnt bone dust.
Yep. You were such a good person to chat with, I hardly noticed. Yeah, I could see that. No, it was your skill at entertaining that made the difference.
Oh, stop licking each other's boots. Goddamn.
We'll have to do this again sometime. Yes, gladly. Lord Battler, welcome back. Is the discussion with Lord Krause and the others still continuing? The way things were going, they'll probably drag it all the way out until dawn. None of my business. Sorry.
It absolutely is now, buddy. You're wearing the ring right now.
Sorry, Battler, but this is 100% your business, and you need to stop.
Until you give that ring to someone else, it is absolutely your business.
Yeah, and the sooner you treat it like your business, the better. Though it kind of...
like, you are currently the legal heir to the estate of Kinzo Ushiromiya. Like, it is your business. They are talking about how to chop up your assets right now.
Yeah. At this point, either give it to Goda, or you have to accept.
Mm-hmm.
Well, give it to Goda, or give it to, I don't know, Jessica.
I just have the idea of, like, him walking into the fucking guest room, taking the ring off, and just, like, beating fucking Jessica in the forehead with it. It's like, here, take this, I don't want it.
Yeah. He wouldn't inflict that on Maria.
No, of course not. Here, your dad that was the fucking successor for so long. You take this shit. I don't want it.
Yeah.
Just set aside a couple of gold bars for me. Fuck.
I spoke carelessly with a big yawn.
I'm gonna leave.
Yeah, but also it does feel right that Bern Castell isn't involving herself much in this.
Yeah.
In the way that she's leading Battler. But I do hope he takes more of a direct interest now that Battler's back at the helm of his own self. You know,
Well, that still won't happen.
yeah.
Don't have any deaths yet.
Nope. It's gonna have to be whenever they return to the mansion. Because right now they're having all the big conversations and they're going to die. Let's see, so we know Natsuki survives and Aba survives. I don't know about anybody else.
Yeah, I don't remember who else was in the fucking room in that first scene.
体力が終わりですね。
You all have more stamina than I expected.
びっくりです。
It's quite a surprise.
なんだ。お前までいたのか。
Oh, so you're here too.
What the fuck are you doing awake?
Yeah, really?
なんとなく流れでこちらでささやかな夜会が始まったもので。
Yes, a humble little night gathering had begun to form quite naturally here.
混ぜてもらっていました。
So I took it upon myself to join.
例のことは話してませんのでご安心を。
Don't worry, I haven't said a word about you know what.
Erica could be
Battler
seen
should
on
be
the
like, well, that
sofa.
cat's out of the bag. I mean, like, fucking look at this. He just holds up his hand. It's like, God damn it. They sent me the ring and everything. It's fucked up. Get me out of here.
Yeah.
Hey, when your parents come by to pick you up, can you take me with you?
That would be kind of great. She had taken her shoes off and was lounging around as though she owned the place. No, you just take off your shoes and get comfortable, because...
Yeah, it's 3 a.m. in the guest house. Just let her lounge.
エリカ様も本当にいろいろなお話をご存知で。
And you too, Lady Erica. You are very knowledgeable on a variety of subjects.
とても楽しく聞かせていただきました。
I enjoyed listening to you immensely.
あんたは本当に博識だ。
Okay. Goda could have just been being polite. But when Nanjo's like, oh yeah, you were actually really fucking smart. It's like, okay, yeah, I know you're a nice guy and everything, but I don't think you'd like fucking puff up someone unnecessarily.
Yeah. But also, Lambda Delta, please stop using the NPCs to compliment your girlfriend. Your knowledge truly is extensive.
若いのに大したもんだよ。
Very impressive for one so young. Yeah, she was basically designed to be a know-it-all.
どういたしまして。
You're very welcome.
フルドエリカはこの程度には博識ですので。
God, see, I fucking... I hate these catchphrases, dude. I hate these catchphrases so much. It's merely the trivial knowledge of Fruto de Erika.
Granted, we're supposed to hate it a little bit.
I hate all of them. Like, no matter who's the one, like, saying their catchphrase, I fucking hate it. Just stop. Speak like a human being, dickhead.
Erica posed by picking up the hem of her skirt. She was lounging on the sofa with her feet up, so it didn't look remotely elegant. Yeah, Erica's catchphrases are at least in character.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not a human, she's a Bern Costello C.
Oh, fuck. That's pretty good.
And I mean, Quinn's not wrong here. I think this girl literally was brought into existence, had detective stamped onto her head, and thrown into the ring.
Rosa おばさん。
Where's Auntie Rosa?
午前の1時頃にお戻りになりましたが、すぐに上がられ、お休みになられました。
She returned around 1 a.m., but she went straight upstairs to sleep. That was probably the right choice. She'd been going along with that conference for so long. I feel like flopping down in bed right away myself. I've had it. I'm tired enough that I might flop over right here.
さあ、私たちもこれくらいにしましょう。
Well, then let's call it a night.
ゴーダさんも
Don't you have to get up early tomorrow morning to make breakfast, Goda? Though he should flop into bed right after as well. And get a nap in before lunch. Preparations.
He must have already got all the food out ready to be cooked.
Yeah, preparations for breakfast have already been made.
I think there's going to be a couple bodies preventing full enjoyment of the meal.
Yeah, unfortunately. As always, I have full confidence that you will enjoy it greatly, so please look forward to it. Because, honestly, I very much would enjoy a meal cooked by Goda, given his expertise.
Battler's going to have to sit at the head of the table now.
Yes, indeedy.
Please give us the scene of the breakfast, at least so we can see, like, the reactions to him sitting at the head of the table. Please. That's what I want. I like, the death can be reported mid-meal, I don't care, but just at least have Battler sit at the front of the table. Please. I need it. Not because I want something good to happen to Battler, but because I want something bad to happen to everyone else. I want to see their reactions.
In Goda's eyes, the family conference is an open stage on which to display his culinary skills. He's probably so pumped up he won't even get sleepy. Yeah, that's fair, because it is kind of the chance to show a lot of people what he's good at. It only comes around once a year.
Food. How do you get food out of FUD? Are you... This fucking captioner, I swear.
Yeah, it'll get some things. It won't get others.
It'll get the weirdest shit.
As she laughed at how youthful Goda was, Erica stood up. This acted as the sign that it was time to disperse. I will clean up here. Please enjoy your sleep, everyone. Leaving the cleanup to Goda, I went to the bathroom and then climbed the stairs to the second floor. Good night, everyone. These old bones have stayed up a little too late. Yeah, you think?
A little bit. Good night, Dr. Nanjo. Good night, Battler.
Yeah, night. Then in the upstairs hallway we split up. Dr. Nanjo went to his own room. Erica went to her room. And I returned to the cousin's room. Yeah, if anybody's awake, this isn't about to go well. Except maybe Maria being awake. But Maria probably went to bed with her mom.
Probably.
Couldn't hear any sounds of playing coming from the cousin's room. Could they have already gone to sleep? I'm surprised at this time of night. If they were still playing, they would have been staying up way too late. And I opened the door quietly. As expected, the room was already pitch black except for a small nightlight. Everyone was already sleeping in their beds. I bet they all had a great time horsing around. Probably had a ton of fun staying up late and talking with about their youth. If only I hadn't found the gold.
Like fucking, like, not even 20. Sure, their youth.
If only I hadn't found the gold, I could have had fun spending time with them. I'm already tired, so tired. Forgetting even to change my clothes or brush my teeth, I crawled into bed, and immediately started to sink into the marshes of sleep. Today's been so insane. I wonder if that old bastard is still in the family conference now. How does he not get tired? Come to think of it.
Desperation, boyo.
What was it that old bastard said when we parted company? This line again.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
He thinks he might be killed.
Yeah, tomorrow there's something I want to talk about as a family. It's about you. I'm sure it's more stuff about being the successor. I don't even want to hear about it. I'll tell... If I tell you about this, I'm probably gonna get murdered. I'll murder you whenever you want, you old bastard. You say that, but you sob like a baby every time.
Yep. Just like an absolute little child. Like a toddler.
Granted, I don't blame anybody.
I think
in
that's
reality.
normal. I think that's typical.
Yeah. And then what was it he said next? It's about your birth. My birth? Probably just something about the noble Ushiromiya lineage. Not interested. Just let me sleep.
I know that fucking feeling. It's like, I don't give a shit what you have to say. Just let me go the fuck to bed, please. Gods.
Yeah,
I am so
really.
tired. Let me out.
So do you want to chug on for the full half hour?
No, because like I think if we do the full half hour, we'll be in the middle of a scene, right?
Yeah.
I think this is a good stopping point.
Yeah.
Just so people aren't like left in the middle of a scene, and we're not left in the middle of a scene.
Yeah. Especially if disabilities take hold again. So, we will leave it here, folks. Thank you.
At least this is a decent ending, in case like Thursday fucks up because of my legs.
Yeah, especially because the next chapter is called Revenge for 19 Years Ago.
Oof. Highly dramatic. Bingo bango.
Yeah, so this is a good time to round it out. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. If you are watching on YouTube, you can check the bottom to the description. That will have my Twitch channel and Cat's Twitch channel. At some point, I will put a link to Blue Sky. If you go to Cat's channel, they will have the links they are about to tell you about.
Yes. If you are watching live, you can scroll down below the Twitch player, but if you are watching the VOD or coming from the YouTube channel, you'll have to go to the About section. But if you look down there, you will find some headers, some images that say what they are. Just click on the images because I have image links, not the common thing where you actually have a hyperlink these days. I don't know why that went away, and I probably bitch about this at least once a week, but like it's so much more graceful to use the image link, right? Like it's so much better for like a web design thing.
Yeah.
I'm certified in web design for anyone wondering. I'm not just talking out of my ass. So, like, this is one of the things that's one of my skills. Anyway, but you'll find stuff like it'll say art or Twitter or Discord or whatever. You just click on those and it'll take you to the thing. One day I will replace the Twitter with a Blue Sky, but for now you can go there and find my Blue Sky by that means. But I post stream alerts in both Twitter, Blue Sky, well, and all three, Twitter, Blue Sky, and the Discord. So if you want those, you can join that. Or if you want pictures of my cats or whatever, you can also go to those three things. And if you want to talk to me off stream or read some of my work before it actually goes up on like Royal Road or gets published anywhere else, you can also go to the Discord. I talk about it a lot there, especially the world building stuff. And then my Kara is my portfolio, which is sort of like a when it comes to artists, that's sort of like a resume or a cover letter or CV or whatever the fuck you want to call it. It shows you what my skills are and what I'm good at and what my previous work is. It hasn't been updated in a while because disability is a fuck, and so is the desert heat. But I'm working on it. Trying. Getting back there slowly. I think that's it.
Yep. Good night, everybody. Hopefully you will see us back for Umineko on Thursday.
Yeah. Mel and I will probably be back on Wednesday, and if not on Wednesday, then on Thursday. And I will be back tomorrow on Tuesday, every Tuesday, with Nate for some Elden Ring.
All right. Good night, everybody.